did yet. Uh,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. I heard
did
someone say
I?
that we would end the session on a short rest.
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was pretty sure we
That,
did.
all right. So yeah, short rest. You guys are inside the thing, gathered up, and somebody went outside, reassured Pink and Grizzdrap that you guys were still alive. Because they're still waiting outside with the animals. Um, yeah, last session you guys decided that there was this really weird looking warehouse that people seem to be avoiding subconsciously, and it was kind of dilapidated. So you guys decided to check it out. Even though the front door was unlocked, most of you decided to climb up into the second story window, leaving only the dwarf outside, uh, outside the door. You guys started to split up and discovered two rooms off the sides of the one that you were already visiting, and discovered vampire spawn and some kind of demonic or otherwise fiendish vampire thingamajiggies. Um, you don't really know how to identify them. They just kind of dissolved, and so. And unfortunately, when the dwarf decided to break in through the front door, he discovered that the first floor had a couple of bodocks laying in wait there. So that added some interesting elements. Thankfully, all of you managed to survive fighting them down, and have now rested mostly on the second floor. The Caladriel apparently wandered outside to tell the rest of the party members what's up, and came back in. You haven't explored much of the first floor yet, nor have you seen more than a glance of the third floor. What would you guys like to do today?
Explore the other ones.
Well,
Sorry,
we've
my
had a
mouth is full of
rest. We
cookies.
should probably continue searching.
We should probably clear the top floor first.
Yes.
I would hate to be around it.
I'd rather not get jumped by something we didn't clear out.
Can Eminette look out the window? What time of day is it?
It seems to be the afternoon at this point.
Mhm.
Still sunny out.
Hey, Clay,
yes.
will you be alright without your dagger?
I would preferably not, but sure, here. I'll give him back.
No, I was just asking, like, your dagger.
I
the
don't.
magical one.
I don't. I don't own a dagger. Oh, you mean the one I summoned?
Yes.
Someone lent me a dagger last session because I added one
I did.
and I didn't own one. Yeah, so I'm fine. Oh,
It's not
I-
ideal, but I have a sling as well.
I'm good.
Okay.
I have 3 long swords.
Yeah, not really my style. I'm sorry.
3 long swords.
Well, if you're gonna clear the building, you might as well get a move on. We gotta get down to the bottom floor and deal with the vampire before dark. It's already
Agreed.
mid-afternoon.
I feel we should all clear the, or at least bring one of our more armored fellows. I look very pointedly at Lance and Kurt.
I look at Lancelot.
I start walking up.
Yeah, Char's
I'll
gonna
follow.
go up as well.
I will be behind Caladriel. Caladriel.
All right, Lancelot. How do you want to go about clearing this area?
Much like the second floor, you notice that there are three probably offices or sub storage or some kind of other types of storage rooms up here. All in a line, probably much in the same fashion as the second floor. There's dust, there's dirt, there's the occasional, buzzing insect that kind of flies away from you. What would you guys like to do?
Well, first, he goes to his door and opens it.
All right. The door goes creak, as it opens up, and you see. Hold on, I put the stuff on GM overlay because I didn't want to use dynamic lighting. Ah, don't move, stupid
Thank
thing.
you for that.
Yeah.
Dynamic lighting feels so oppressive for some reason.
Yeah, it can, but it can also be quite fun if depending on what you're doing. But you see in front of you a rather dusty and kind of maybe bit tattered rug, a chair with a small layer of dust, and a small wooden chest. There's also scattered piles of debris, like, bits of wood, a few scattered papers here and there, probably torn from a book, just kind of laying around.
I look at the ceiling.
Alright. I roll a perception check on the ceiling. Just looks like a ceiling. There's nothing clinging up there. No bat-like creatures hanging up there. No vampire spawn clinging to the ceiling.
Claire
All right.
ignores the chest.
Promenade goes to the next room.
I'll be right next to her.
Alright.
I would like to be in after Lancelot.
Sure.
Thank you.
Alright. You guys go in. You open up the... Oh, hold on 1 second. Absent backgrounds. I forgot to copy that door thingy over here.
Look at us breaching clearing.
There we go.
Breaching Claire.
Yeah, you get to the next room, and you hear the slight squawk of what sounds like two bats as you disturb them, opening up that door and looking in. It's very dusty. It's very dark in there. The windows are just very boarded up, and
Picks up a piece of rubble, casts light, throws it in the room.
about 5 bats just screech, flying off the ceiling and fly out the door. Probably going to find someplace else in the warehouse to sleep now that you've disturbed them. The interior of this room doesn't seem to be much. There's a bit of mold and whatnot climbing up one wall near the far side towards the boarded up window. But there doesn't seem to be much of anything. If there had been anything in here, it was probably already taken.
Clear. Nothing in here.
Alright, on to the next. I'll be right behind you.
You can open the door. It's fine.
Alright, he opens the door.
What are you doing, Clay? You seem to be in the other room over there.
Yeah, I seem to be in there. I'll just. Do.
Okay.
Chests.
I'll get back to you what you're doing, Clay, as soon as I see what the other players are doing.
Yeah, replay
Oh,
from last
thank
time.
why.
Yes.
And you guys open the door, and another dusty room, and what looks like a very forgot to resize that. A very dusty bed with a bit of a coverlet on it. Meanwhile, Clay, what are you doing?
I'm making an investigation check to see if this thing is gonna eat or stab me when I touch it.
All right, roll investigation.
Come on, this thing. Yeah, 28. I know what this thing is.
Okay. You look over the chest, avoiding the rug, touching the wooden chest, and first thing that comes to your eyes is there's a strange amount of what looks like tiny bits of rat fur and possibly bat fur along the floor near the chest. And there's even the occasional very tiny rodent or bat bone on the floor. And the longer you look at the chest without touching it, the more you are convinced this chest has been eating those things and just losing bits of hair here and there. And there also seems to be something wrong with the rug. It's almost as if the closer you get to it, the more it looks like it's getting ready to twitch. There's also papers scattered around, and they have less dust on them than anything else. But there is a lot of that hair again nearby them.
Okay.
Your intuition tells you this entire place is filled with living things setting a trap.
What are
No
you
matter how I hit
Okay.
it, I was gonna lose my fucking hand.
Char, what are you doing?
I've just pretty much got in the stairs, looking, just keeping an eye out.
So
if something-
at this point, you see Clay just kind of backing out of that room.
I'm gonna close the door and I'm gonna lock it.
There's no lock.
Are you okay there, Clay?
Yeah, it's a very living atmosphere in there. I wouldn't recommend going in there, to be honest.
Can we hear this?
Too lively for you. So.
Is there something
Kurt,
you need to get
Kurt
off your
hears it.
chest?
Amunet, roll perception check.
I hear this as well.
Caladriel, you're hearing something, so roll a perception check. But Kurt, I imagine that you can hear Clay mentioning something about that. Your hearing might not be sensitive. Cal.
I had to roll low
Amunet,
something.
on the other hand, you definitely hear Clay talking about that.
You got a problem down there? What's going on?
Nothing. This room just has too much of a lively atmosphere. I don't think we should ever go in there again.
Hey,
No, I'm
What did
good.
you touch?
I didn't
A
touch
lively
anything.
atmosphere?
Nothing. I'm just saying, don't go in there. It's a bit too lively.
You just bolt over there.
we're searching this place to make sure nothing was up here.
Yeah.
Is something in there?
I mean, I don't think it's gonna do anything unless we disturb it, so we shouldn't.
What
Clay,
is it?
Out the way.
It's
Is it
just
tasty?
furry. I don't think so. It smells. It probably tastes like rat, so I wouldn't, interfere with it. And I have a feeling like
I can
there's a
work with
lot
that.
of
I
it.
kick in the door.
Yeah.
Clay is standing in
Right.
Clay is standing in front of the door. Do you plan on pushing him out of the way?
Well,
Oh,
it doesn't
they
seem to be
bolted.
standing
I
there
mean-
anymore. I raise my leg to kick it. I guess he moves.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna turn behind Chris.
once again, you see a dusty room with a chair, a rug, a wooden chest, and little scatters of paper and debris.
And then I take out my warhammer and I look back to Clay like, where is it?
Everywhere. Like, it's with the chest, it's with the papers, it's probably in the rug. Everywhere.
What is it?
The lively fucking atmosphere. Like,
Be more descriptive.
not bad juju.
Oh, can
It
I
feels
do an
like
Arcana check or something?
Sure.
The
Yeah.
room just feels like it wants to eat you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty on the head there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the room is alive.
Amunet, you are
Yeah.
getting the impression of mimics. In fact, as soon as you realize, oh, mimic, you suddenly realize what those papers on the floor mean. Baby mimics.
Oh, it looks like we've got some mimics on our hands.
It's
Everything.
a lot of them. Just leave it.
I mean, we'd have to worry about the warehouse burning down, but we could always clear it with a flaming sphere later.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is like super important right now, but
My only
Can
concern
we-
is, can't they grow to the size of houses?
I mean, I've not seen one grown that big, but yeah, they could. It's something that we need to deal with, but I don't know if we have something larger in the bottom.
Yeah.
Let's deal with it on the way out.
first. Yeah.
They obviously don't care about this warehouse. They shouldn't care if we burn it down to cleanse it.
Just shut the door.
Alright, I'll close the door and then I like whisper, I'll be back.
Aminette gives like a double pat to Kurt.
That's so ominous.
Oh.
I could use a small paper ones to wrap around the other food.
So it's like bacon wrapped?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That sounds good.
I don't know what mimic tastes like, do you?
Oh god.
More
I'm
That's-
sure it tastes like chicken, or like whatever it wants to be.
Oh, I hate that expression. Tastes like chicken.
You know,
Let's,
Bad taste
let's
buds.
have this conversation later.
To the basement?
To the basement.
did we finish the other room?
Did you check the other room?
I mean,
Not
is there just a
closely.
bed in there? That's about it.
I could lift the bed up.
Hmm.
man.
Yeah, let's just go to the basement now.
Oh,
Right.
okay. He looks sad because he didn't get to lift the bed up.
Well, if you want to go
Look,
lift the bed, go lift the bed.
He
You can
runs
do
over and lifts the bed.
Aminette will walk
going
over.
Same. I want to
Lift the
witness
bed.
this.
Make sure there's nobody sleeping in it.
This is not.
Um,
something I
Yeah,
wanna
the
sleep in.
bed's empty. There's just like a
Okay.
thread. It's like an old mattress and like a threadbare and somewhat moldy and very dusty
There's
coverlet.
no lumps underneath the covers or anything.
Like, are you planning on touching it?
I was asking if there were any lumps underneath the covers.
Well, it's like, it's not exactly a made bed, so of course there's going to be like lumps and bumps along the way. That doesn't mean there's anything actually under there.
Just in case, shoots an arrow right in the one of the lumps.
Attack at advantage.
She's got him activated, so we'll do lightning. Fuck it.
Shocking.
Alright, it hits. There's a small spark, but yeah, Kurt.
Yeah, I did.
But-
Yeah,
But nothing
I
seems.
repeated exactly what I fucking said.
But nothing seems to happen. It just seems to be a bed.
There you go.
Doesn't appear to
I
be a
love
mimic
that.
like in the Clay has told you for stuff in the other room.
Go ahead, Lancelot.
Lancelot picks it up. Roll a strength check, or rather a athletics check. Yeah, he lifts it. He lifts it over his head. Dust comes swirling down. There's a couple of desiccated corpses of mice and what looks like probably mice bedding at some point. Like the floor under it, there's like mouse droppings that are old and ancient, and oof, it's not pleasant in here.
I think it's clear.
All right.
He's literally just gently places the bed back down.
Okay. So, as they're whenever they get down to the bottom, Clay, are you coming?
Oh yeah.
Okay. As they get down to the bottom, Aminette's gonna be like, now, do you... Oh, that's the bottom. Ooh. Cal, you weren't with us. Clay, you weren't with us either whenever we dealt with the vampire, but I let y'all know some traits about them. And I just wanted to make sure everybody remembered them before we moved any further.
They run away when they're scared.
They turn into rats. Yeah, that's what he did. But let's see. I didn't have it all written down, but I have the Hunter's Bane that I wrote down. So can she just relay all that from the vampire that they had seen, the undead one?
You can. So you basically want a refresher on vampire traits. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I wrote down the vampire right here, and it says, resistant to non-magical damage. And I know you gave me more, I just didn't write it down.
All right. Did Amunet write it down?
Yeah, because she did Hunter's Bane.
Okay. If that's the case, she would remember that they are very fast, which translates to they can make multiple attacks. They can shapeshift, which you've already mentioned, to certain creatures. They have a charm effect that they can just look at somebody and force their will on that person for a while.
Which is what happened to Afnar.
Unless that's what you guys believe, anyway. They also most of them seem to have an ability to summon bats and rats and whatnot as long as the sun isn't up. They can regenerate, they can climb walls. They have the ability to turn to mists if they are badly damaged. Their weaknesses, they typically cannot enter a residence without invitation from an occupant. If a place like this is definitely not a residence. They can't stand running water. It acts like acid upon their skin. While a stake through the heart will not kill them, it will incapacitate them if it's in their resting place. And this is for, of course, a full-fledged vampire, not the vampire spawn that you fought earlier. But just like the spawn, a true vampire is also very sensitive to sunlight.
Okay. She will relay all that. Thank you. I thought I didn't write all that down last time.
Oh, they are also resistant to necrotic and to standard attacks, anything that's non-magical.
Yeah.
So they're like the ones upstairs.
Stronger.
Won't be as effective.
Yes.
I
But-
wish my weapon was more effective against him.
I do have one question before we proceed. Could we clear out this room here? Ensure there's no other residents?
This bottom floor.
Yes, the floor we're currently on. Make sure there's nothing else hiding under a tarp.
Sure. I thought we already did that, but go ahead.
I like to go around while they're strategizing and make sure there's no other guests.
Investigation check.
Aminette will go into her pack, and she has. I have to go to my old sheet
19.
just to make sure.
Alright.
She has 9 wooden stakes, and she will.
Let's just ask me something. Sorry, hold on. I need to, before I can resolve anything else with you guys, I need to do something real quick.
Oh, no.
He said a certain word that he doesn't realize he has an item
What
for.
item do you have? What weapon do you have in your hand?
My halberd.
Oh shit!
Your halberd.
Oh boy.
I
Alright.
just realized what happened.
Yes.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yep.
There's a slight glow from an item that Sir Lancelot has on his being. And it kind of, like, pulls your attention for a moment. It's like, huh, that's weird. And it glows. And, hold on one second, I need to find the right stupid page because I reordered my book. I have a nice book full of magical items, but I reordered it recently so that all of the legendary magical items are in the back, and then uncommon and rare and all that are in those orders instead of in a different order. And I know exactly what item to give him, I just want to describe it better to him. Let's see, for his class...
No, he's not gonna get us killed. Yep.
Yet.
Well, unless he uses so specific word.
I'm so sorry.
No,
It
with
just
the
that
voice.
I didn't hear it when he said that, and then he whispered it to me, and
Yeah.
now I have to find it.
Yeah,
This is
literally,
gonna
his
be
words was,
awesome.
I wish my weapons were more effective against creatures like him.
Wait,
He's got
He
the
has
ring
a
of 3
wish.
wish. He's got the ring of 3 wishes, but doesn't know what it does.
Yeah.
He doesn't realize he has
and we
it.
don't know that he has it either.
is he
We just
wearing
think
it?
it's a nice ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just saw a pretty ring and put it on.
Yes.
Yep.
He's a
Why
bug.
wouldn't we?
Does anyone here know what it is?
Nope.
Nope.
We rolled really,
Alright.
really low.
We re-rolled so
Yes,
well.
exactly. So, Sir Lancelot, Your entire hand suddenly lights up from where you have the ring from your halberd. Your halberd changes. It's gone, and in its place is what looks like a longsword hilt. But while you're holding it, it suddenly springs to life, and a blade of light comes shooting out from it. Congratulations, you've just acquired the Sunblade.
Oh,
He sounds so sad.
no,
I hope
really.
he's gonna go like, I don't use this. I only use halberds.
And drops it. How will you not? He's just gonna think it's broken whenever it stops glowing.
Mhm.
I mean, a certain
Lance?
friend of ours could technically use it because it's finesse.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Lancelot, what did you just do? What happened to your halberd?
I thought you weren't a magician.
I did a pray thing where you say you wish for something and then it happens, apparently.
You did a pray thing.
What?
May I look at his hand?
I'm gonna.
He's gonna
Can
burst
I,
into light.
can I
The
make
entire
an Arcana
hand, which
check?
included the halberd, burst into light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So you wouldn't
Yeah.
really know to look at the ring.
okay, just making sure.
Can I make an Arcana check to figure out what happened?
I would
Sure.
like to as well.
Yeah,
We'll
I'd like to try and figure out
Can
what the
I
hell.
make a reality check?
Already done this once.
Nope, still don't know what happened.
So, what you guys surmise is that somehow Sir Lancelot had become in possession of a wish and didn't realize it, and just used it to give himself a blade that would work against a vampire.
How did you get a wish?
Okay. Let's test this out.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Don't blow something like that. Don't even try, or don't even chance it.
We don't know if he has more wishes or not, but he needs to be very careful about what he says from now
Lancelot?
on.
Hmm.
So we need to see if it's just a thing he can. I don't know. Maybe it's like a bugbear thing. I don't know. No, I would no. It wouldn't be a bugbear thing. I don't know.
If
It's
I may ask, have you guys been dealing with something extra powerful that might have gifted you something that gave you a wish?
No.
You don't have any friends in high places?
No.
I've
No.
got friends in low places, but that's a different thing.
New equipment.
We did find some stuff in some ruins.
What
And
did you
Amulet.
guys find?
We sold most of it.
Amunet
'Cause I've
pulls
heard
out
of-
the sphere.
'Cause
Crystal ball.
I know he doesn't use them, but I've heard of swords that are known to bestow certain feats of luck on their wielders.
I don't know.
Well, there's nothing under these tarps.
Okay.
Lancelot, I have some questions for you later.
Yeah, just remember, don't wish for anything. Okay, things might go wrong. Okay, no more
Okay.
wishing, Lancelot.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh god.
There you go. The binding works.
Couldn't he have wished the vampire dead?
Out of
No,
character, what's the
I
intelligence
don't.
of Lancelot?
I
Like
would
you?
say
7?
spell.
That's no fun.
Whenever you mess with fate, there's always consequences. You gotta be careful with magic like that.
Mm, but
But what, Kurt?
I mean, it could hurry up the whole, world is ending apocalypse thing.
Or it could
And
speed it
we
up.
could-
Or
we
it could
could-
speed it up, is right.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
When it comes to wishes, you're better off being very, very cautious.
I could use a wish right now.
Like,
Let's just deal with the vampire and get back to this later.
Agreed.
Because time is
Yeah,
burning.
let's put a pin in this for now.
Okay. Okay.
I
And
don't
she
have a
goes back.
pen.
Anyway,
I knew you were gonna say that.
Shall we move downstairs?
here, take this, and she will hand a steak to each of them.
Oh.
ooh, oh. It's
If you a wooden steak.
yeah, I noticed.
Sorry.
I'm trying to type and I can't click on the damn thing.
Oh,
If
beautiful.
we by chance find where he's sleeping, we might be able to drive this into his heart.
I
Hopefully.
doubt it would
I personally
be here.
prefer snake steaks, thank you.
Ooh, sounds good.
Well, the
Yeah.
sun's still out. He could still be asleep.
We made a
So
lot of noise. Be on our guard.
we did.
Okay. I can, if you want, I can take a look once more and see if I can see anything around him other than the bags and the boxes to see if there's
Hey.
anything else.
I just remembered something.
What?
Kind of a hindsight thing.
Hmm.
That when I ran in, I wish I knew that there was shit in here. I have these potions.
Do you know what they do?
Well, yeah. I've come to realize.
What do they do?
Well, they're kind of clairvoyance potions.
I'm gonna start looking under the tarps for things.
Cal
I
already
can
did that.
assure you. Well, I looked for any guests.
Roll
There
an
are
investigation
bodies,
check.
but they're dead.
Oh, that's good.
Like they're dead.
Yeah, Clay, Clay you poke
Not
around,
undead.
and pretty much all you find are moldering bones of humanoids under a couple of the tarps and under a few boxes. Looks like the Bodocs probably got rid of them some time ago.
Let's just go find this vampire. I need to get to
Ah.
sewing soon.
I
I'd
forgot we
like to
had
get
that.
that done before sun.
I don't even know what that spell does.
It basically gives you the Eye of Sauron. Like, you can put it somewhere and you can see what's happening there, but they can't see it.
Hmm.
Or you can put an ear there and you can hear shit, but they can't see the ear. Unless they have true sight.
Well, do we want to go in blind, or do you want me to scry on him again?
I mean, can't we use the... I mean, you can scry or we can use the potion. I think
I
scrying is
also have a friend
probably
that can
more
go down there
detectable.
for us.
Cal, what did you
I-
say?
I also have a friend that can go in there for us. And I conjure up my crow on my shoulder.
Gah! Gah!
Well, if he's going to be making all that noise, that might not be a good idea. I might want to keep him quiet, but
Yeah. If you could please keep quiet, dear.
The crow rubs against Caljul's face.
I'm gonna need you to go down. I'm gonna need you to go down there. Just be careful. Ow! Bites my ear.
Alright, so where are you sending the crow?
Down the stairs there, or ladder, whatever that hatch is.
It's there's a lot. Basically, there is a door, a tiny little door over there, and when you open it up, you see there's the kind of a methane-y smell, and there's a hatch going down.
Meth. That's no fire, people. Please,
I don't use
for now. I
Uh,
have no problem sending this place sky high if necessary. Eventually.
So the
Right.
with under direction, the crow takes up off of Caligul's shoulder and goes flying down into the hatch. Question:
Yes.
Do you know offhand if they have blind sight?
Their senses are only passive perception 13 and normal sight.
Okay, so the crow is quickly disoriented down there. There's no light, and you hear echoes of "caw caw" for a bit before the
Aw.
crow just comes shooting back up to the
Cal?
hole and back to Cal's shoulder, shaking a bit.
Yeah, great.
Seems to be slightly
Right, Cal.
moist. Because the crow's the crow is sitting on your shoulder now, pruning its
And
feathers.
if I may, I'd like to see if I can identify the fluid on its
All
on
right.
its feathers.
Roll an investigation check.
Would Amunet be able
7.
to assist
If only-
him with her alchemy kit?
Sure. You go over to the crow, take off a sample, roll your own investigation check.
Would this be considered assisting her, or would
Yes.
it just
I
be a
would be
separate?
Yeah, because Caldrell already made the roll before Amunet said that, and if Amunet's using if Amunet is using an alchemy kit, then it would be her roll anyway because she has to use the alchemy kit to do it
Okay.
with intelligence. But
I'll
with
be honest, I
Caldrell's
didn't think about
assistance on that, you do
because
get
I have an
advantage.
alchemist and an herbalism.
Yeah, Caldrell was just kind of
Okay.
looking at the fluid, and you're just kind of over there taking a sample. All right. So you quickly kind of look it over, and you're certain it is water, but with the tiny amounts of contaminants that are in it, you're pretty sure it's sewer water that's probably dripped, evaporated and then dripped back down from a ceiling.
Ugh. Cal, you might want to wash your familiar
Yeah.
fecal matter all in the feathers.
Ah!
All right, darling. Fly outside. Coast is right there. Push yourself off, then disappear and return to me. Okay?
The crow immediately takes off and flies outside.
Do you mind if I keep this as a sample?
Not at all.
She'll.
Just don't drink it.
There's not enough there to really drink anyway. It's more like
I
a
know.
drop.
Amina just kind of looks at Cal and says, "Don't worry. I only had planned to drink poison to make me stronger." Are we good to go downstairs?
I am. Is everyone else?
Kurt take out his warhammer and steps towards the door.
Do we have any source of light?
Sir Lancelot's like testing his sword, and it's getting brighter and dimmer,
The-
brighter and dimmer.
The sword
It has a
is
dim
definitely
function.
Well,
the
there's the
sword when it's
yeah.
out is a source of light.
Oh,
Uh,
can the please be activated by the collapse of Aminet's illusion?
You want the sunblade to be a clap-on light.
yes. Yes.
I mean, it's his wish, so
Something to say out of character.
Yeah.
Oh.
If Lancelot wants it, then that's.
No, I said it. Tobias.
Oh,
Who's talking?
Tobias wants it.
Who's
That
talking?
would
Out,
be so funny.
who's saying something out of character? I'm sorry.
Fumble wants to say something out of character because she's listening in.
All right.
Are you writing your name like you would with a sparkler
In the air.
in the air with your sword?
Does he know how to read?
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
Lancelot does?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
That's how he's learned how to be a knight, by reading children's books.
Okay.
So we can at least.
I'm gonna.
He is actually Fumble. He is in fact a knight in truth, because he was knighted by his kingdom, and then because he did a good deed, he was granted land. So he's not only a knight, he's actually the only known
A lord.
bugbear lord in Zaladin.
So you can
Maybe only his name.
minimum.
He can sign documents, but that's it.
Yes.
What I'm
Okay.
wondering though is if as he swings it around, it's going like.
I am thinking he is, but that is really up to Sir Lancelot.
Anyway.
Yes.
So.
But
Canon,
I'd like to be
people,
forced
canon.
Down.
What was that, Charles?
Shuttle, go ahead.
If you would like, I could cast light on an arrow and shoot it in there if you would like some more.
Curtis jumped down.
I
Because
can
of course
actually
he
see
has.
alright. Not particularly far, but I can see.
Shield of Warhammer, ready.
I mean, the more lights, the better.
Splash!
I'm
You
gonna
guys-
cast light on an arrow and shoots it at the back wall.
You guys immediately find yourself in a sewer corridor, going. Let's see. If the warehouse was north to south, south being the entrance to the warehouse, and northeast being the entrance to this is a east to west passageway that you're currently in. Um, this appears to be a way up. There are two ways. I said going east and west. It is fairly damp down here. There's an overwhelming smell of methane. And it is very dark, except now for the arrow that Amunet has shot into the wall. Except that, of course, Amunet's bolts vanish after a moment. Do you have any actual bolts on your person, Amunet, or you just have the magical ones?
I do
I
not
can
have
literally
it.
hand her a bolt.
Okay.
to be fair.
I also have a sling that I can use to launch anything.
Alright. So you're in a sewer. It is actually fairly warm in here because of the buildups of methane and such.
No fire.
Clay,
Please.
let's see. Clay.
I have dark vision.
Clay and Caladrill, please roll me Constitution saving throws.
Why?
Because
I'm
unlike the
fine.
others, I don't think I'm not sure if either of you have been in a situation similar to this before.
I've wanted
Whereas
to
I'm
wilderness,
pretty
but I haven't necessarily gone anywhere abhorrently stinky.
Yeah,
I-
that's the only reason I was thinking that. I was thinking that with the other four, there's a good chance they have, and in fact, I think they have during the course of the campaign. I do not think that Clay, especially Clay, or I don't know about Caladrill, would have been in that situation before. But both of you passed as flying colors. Neither of you throw up from being down there.
I work for
Paladin-
sweaty ass noblemen. This is nothing.
Yeah, this smells worse
Paladin-
than sweaty, fat, noble guys.
Caladrill has been hardened to the elements with his wanderings, and he's an alchemist. So he's
Yeah.
definitely smelled bad things, but I'm not
All right,
sure
so
if he's ever wandered in a sewer.
Your Constitution saving throws actually reflect this lifestyle. You are
Yeah.
not going to pass out or throw up from the sewer stench. Good for you.
Okay.
But no.
So what's the layout from where we are? Are we like at an intersection? Is it just going in two directions?
It's going in
One?
two directions, east and west.
Go that way or that way.
You came down the southern wall down a ladder, and looking at the northern wall, which across from you, now has something embedded in it that's glittering light from your party. But the passage itself continues east and west. There are small ledges, but there's the sludge and water flowing in between.
Is this like part of like a giant sewer canal from the city, or is it just under this house?
Roll an intelligence check.
I'm also going to raise the sword in the air and kind of extend.
Yeah, Clay, you looking around, it's like, yeah, you're in the city sewers. This is could lead anywhere and everywhere.
Question, Chris.
Yep.
I seem to remember this building we were on were next to the docks.
Mhm.
Do I hear a
Roll-
rushing water or something
Roll
like
perception
that?
check.
I can tell that. Yeah, I'm thinking if the pipe ends somewhere and goes into the ocean, as they probably would do.
Yeah, because we were right on the coast.
Given what you know, you're pretty sure, and you hear echoes, but there's no guarantee of this. You're pretty sure if you headed in an easterly direction, you'd eventually hit the outflow pipe.
Can I make a check to see if there are any thievery markings like in thief scans?
Roll a perception
Somewhere,
check. Ah.
I'm on fire today,
Nice.
No,
and now it's gone.
Alright. So, in fact, you see one almost directly underneath that arrow that was shot, or bolt, or whatever that was picked up and launched into the wall to give light. Um, you see a symbol, part of it scratched out. Like, you see a scratched out part that says, like, safe haven and points up, but that's now scratched up, and the symbol death is now there. Avoid at all costs, sort of thing. And you see other arrows heading towards the west. Some sort of markings that basically are telling you that your fellow thieves or other thieving type people would probably be somewhere to the west, or that something interesting might be there. But definitely the place you just came from, it was regarded as a death house, or a death warehouse rather.
I'm gonna make a mental note of where this thieves gathering spot would be.
All right.
But it's what he would have done.
All right.
I hope no one died though.
It's definitely that way, and I point towards death.
Which direction?
The one where it said, good
No,
to
no.
go.
Remember, nobody
no
else
longer
could
good to
read
go.
that. Nobody else could read that.
No, this is out of character. This is to tell you which direction.
And
you were
they,
which direction?
And they don't know because I was whispering this to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, let's go that direction. The one, because it seems good. Because I think that's the way we need to go. Because that place doesn't seem safe
They
anymore.
don't know which direction you're talking about.
I'm pointing.
My point is,
my
point is, we can't see you in real life. Which way are you pointing?
The character's
Clay
He's saying his character
is pointing.
Okay, which direction is Clay pointing in?
West, I think.
There
right?
you go.
The right one, Chris. No, it's the other one because West was something else.
West is left, east is right.
Yeah, sure. I'm pointing towards where I think death might be.
No, death is up. Up. The up arrow was death.
Oh, so that's where we came from.
Yes.
So we came from death. Cool.
The arrow is telling me the trouble is up there, but we were there, so it's wrong.
No.
I don't know where to go then.
No. See, okay, I'll repeat it even in front of your companions because apparently it was confusing. I'm sorry. The up arrow on that symbol originally said safe house, but was scratched. That part of it was scratched out and replaced with death, most likely because of the botox and such.
Yes.
The other arrow you see pointing, without any real direction of what it is exactly, is pointing you to the west. Does that help? There's two arrows.
Oh. Okay, yeah. In that case, I don't point because I don't know where to go. I thought one of them pointed towards where the thing would be, but that was incorrect.
What thing are you even talking about?
The vampire would be.
Why would there be thieves? Why would there be thieves' camp for a vampire who just barely arrived in the city?
Because it said death. And
there were botox in that warehouse for some time.
It's fine.
Yeah, but what I mean is that I thought the safe house wasn't safe anymore, and that's why that was there.
Yeah.
And my connection was that's probably the vampire, but apparently not.
No, those are much older markings. They're much older than any time that you guys or the vampire's been there. It's probably been there for months, if not a year or so.
My guess is east. I don't know. East feels right.
I thought that was where the water goes out.
I vote this way. I mean, we can check this way if you want to, but I think it's just gonna be a dead end eventually.
Amunet, which way do you think we should go?
Oh. Oh, okay, but I didn't see that in.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, Cal and
There it goes.
And Cal's out.
Oh. Never mind. That wasn't me.
So I am surprised you guys avoided the fun room. But that's what happens. Sometimes people look at it and go, and no better than to actually enter such a place, and then, somebody actually goes in and rolls a good investigation check.
You know?
Still, it would have been fun. I had mimics, I had something else. Yeah, it would have been fun.
Yeah, we'll get to them later.
They could have died.
Yeah, if he had just gone for the chest and not investigated it, yeah, it's very possible.
Or if he failed his investigation.
Yeah, it's very possible he would have been, attacked immediately by one mimic and probably attacked by one or two other baby mimics. And other people would have rushed in to help, and they would have probably been attacked by other things that would have been, immediately waking up.
This is fine.
That's why I call it the fun room.
I think you and I have different definitions of fun.
Everyone has a different definition of fun.
Yeah, what's fun for a GM is not necessarily fun for the players. Still, I am proud of you for managing to avoid the traps. Is Cal back?
Yeah.
Yay! Welcome
I'm
back,
good,
Cal.
though. I gotta give him a second. Yeah, unfortunately, because of that shitty wiring issue, Cloud was trying to make a snack, and then it just
Aww.
kept blowing the breaker.
Is Cal snack? Is her snack okay or?
No.
It's not done yet, so she's gonna have to go upstairs and use the main oven.
Aww. Poor Cloud.
Well, don't forget though, you could always just join the voice on phone and mute your mic.
Yeah, you're always welcome to do that.
All right, but I'm back in. What did I miss, or did you guys pause?
Oh, they're just
you
debating
missed
on which
absolutely
direction to go.
We have absolutely no idea which way to
Mostly,
go.
Clay spotted something that only he could see, and so I gave him a description of what it was.
So
Yeah. So far we have no idea where.
So did we see Clay just kind of pointing in directions, like completely disoriented?
Yeah, he was like going
This way,
death
this way,
or
this
that.
way.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he pointed
And
up and
yeah.
said death, and then he pointed it towards the west and said death. Then said we should go east.
Clay,
And then he just gave up.
Clay, what's going on in that little head of yours?
Nothing. It's just the feng shui of this, like, dark, cavernous, mossy interior that, like, feels like the right way. Going that way. I don't know. The green is more real on this side than that side. I don't know why.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Out of character. The sewer goes east to west.
Yes,
Which compass direction is the coast from this warehouse?
east. That's one of the things that they discovered already. They said
I think
east
we
is
should go
probably
west.
east is probably to the water.
Yeah. I agree with Caladrell. We should go west.
Okay. Anyone else disagree?
No.
Alright, then let's get moving.
All right. So, who would like to helm this expedition?
Good.
All right, roll me a survival. Sorry, actually, what skill check would you like to use to helm this expedition? Much more information interesting than just saying survival check, because there are other ways, and I learned that recently.
Yeah, we are working our way through a sewer, which isn't exactly my preferred terrain. But I think I will rely on my survival instincts of if there's something hiding in the sewer, like what would be a good ambush spot and stuff like that, and where is natural hazards and such.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use my survival.
All right. There's also a bright light around you for 30 feet.
And I'm guessing dim in another 30.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. Well, the sun sword is very nice.
Unless you're a rogue.
I have
Who likes to sneak
flashlight.
and go in darkness.
That's why they have their armors made out of hide.
So, Kurt, with that survival skill, as the path, goes into, T-squares and four-ways and, twists and turns and all sorts of stuff, you manage to, keep on a good path that you think is probably the right one. Something subconsciously leading you on that's something, a path that you would choose if you were making your way through the sewers anyway. It's just like you're very confident about your
The
skills.
natural path.
Yes, the natural.
Subconscious path.
Yes. As if you were tracking game. Think something tasty you're going to hunt down, or something you've never eaten before that you want to hunt down.
Or something that someone else has eaten before and I smell it now.
Well, you are in a sewer. That kind of works.
What did he say? I didn't hear the line.
He says something someone else is eating now. He's tracking it down.
That's definitely nuts.
Well, there is a very nice, supposedly nice coffee that qualifies for that.
Hey, I mean, we drink coffee that's been going through cat stomachs.
Well, a civet cat isn't a cat; it's a weasel.
Close
But-
enough, kitty.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, and there's also, don't forget about honey, delicious honey.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry. Are you going to continue to lead, or would somebody else like to take a turn?
Well, I won't offer up because I think I'm doing a good job.
All right. So eventually, as you lead to another T section, this one going north to south, and your passageway came from the east. You kind of stop before the wall to the west, and there's just something about it, something that draws your attention.
Something about that wall draws my attention.
Turn to the wall.
You're pretty sure because of the immunity of the stench that you have around you, that as of this moment, if you happen to run into a ghast, you'd probably be okay. That's not foreshadowing, that's just kind of making a reference.
Uh-huh.
The stench down here is worse anyway, so.
Or a dretch, for that matter. I think dretches also supposedly smell horrible. Or a trog, for that matter. Trogs also smell this bad. But, basically you... I don't think so. What I'm saying is that you're currently temporarily immune, or inoculated against a smell-based attack or defense system, so that you would not be affected by it at the moment, because your nasal passages have finally shut down. Well, not completely shut down, but they've finally become temporarily immune to stench.
Alright, well. He's just staring at the wall, I guess, and pointing it out to the others, like something weird about it.
What's weird about this wall?
I mean,
Everybody roll a perception check.
it feels a little bit out of place or something.
Can I assist someone instead of rolling?
No, in this case, everybody is rolling a perception check.
Oh.
I still rolled okay.
And I now have somebody to whisper to.
Oh boy.
All right. So you look at the wall. You there? Quentin.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you look at the wall that Kurt's pointing out, and while they're looking, every which way, you happen to notice a couple of, distinctive thieves' cant hash marks, uh, along the thing that everyone else, even with their high perception scores, aren't exactly noticing. Um, but you happen to look at that, and you basically know, secret entrance sort of hash marks, and a sort of thing that also says, "Beware defensive system beyond." And I'm going to leave you there for a moment as I catch up with the other ones. 1 second.
See, he has 2 feet.
I'm just moving you for a moment. Okay.
Oh no.
So while Clay seems to be occupied in something and Amunet doesn't seem to be seeing anything, the rest of you, you look around at these the walls, and you see, an odd arrangement of, stones almost directly in front of this wall, kind of like around. You know how the passages you've been walking on have been like, mostly dry and, not exactly dry, they're slightly moist but not covered in sewer water, but have been mostly cleared off. On the other side, on the western side of this northwest passageway that you've just wandered into, uh, there's a lot of stones and other small objects that kind of look like bits of fur and, maybe small bones. All right, now I'm gonna bring the other two back. Sorry about that. All right, what would you guys like to do?
Point out the
I mean, it really didn't
bones
see
and fur.
anything.
I go to see what bones it is.
All right, roll a nature check, please, Kurt. You're pretty sure that at one point these were rat bones. However, the ones that you're finding, it looks like they've been tooled. That they've been filed down in places, and you see on one of them that you've picked up, like right next between two rocks, it really reminds you of a key. It's weird.
Anyone here used to people making tools out of bones?
Can I have a look at that?
Sure. I mean, this one looks like a key. You can have it.
Yeah, key.
I mean, either that
Burn
or some...
key.
Yeah.
I have that thing in my hand, and I'm gonna stretch a bit and poke the wall and fail.
No, you don't fail. Everybody sees you. Take the key, walk over to the wall, and put it in between two slots that none of them, even with their examinations of the wall, thought to put anything into. But you know better, and you turn the key right in front of all of them, and there's a click, and the wall kind of moves out of the way, revealing a passageway.
Ta-da!
What the fuck?
Interesting.
You gotta use your head, man.
How?
I didn't
All of the fucking cracks on the wall, and you just go up and... How did you see that?
But you didn't use
Luck,
your head.
man.
Use the key.
Don't feel too
Yes,
bad.
I did. Now, who wants to go first?
I feel you should go first. You clearly know the way.
What does it look like in there?
It's fairly dark, although with Sir Lancelot's, light kind of casting from that sword, you kind of see there's a passageway heading west. It seems to head into, just about 20 feet away. It seems to open up into probably a 50-foot room that slopes downward a bit. It's difficult to see beyond that because it's like, very, it's very far away, but you could see it all that much even with the dimness.
Chris, do I see like a preferred safe pathway or not?
Roll me a investigation check.
Is he looking for shadow marks?
All right. Yeah, you see exactly where to put your footing to avoid whatever whatever you're planning to avoid going through there.
Okay, guys. Be very careful. Follow in my footsteps like you always should. Definitely you, Char. You really need a fashion update. Anyway, and I start walking.
Excuse
You heard what he said. Follow his footsteps. Let him lead the way.
Sure.
I follow right behind him.
I follow right behind.
I follow fourth, like always.
I'll
Yeah.
follow fifth, I guess.
Third behind Lancelot, yeah.
Alright.
So I can protect Clay if he gets attacked. It's
So
fine.
shuttle in the back. Amunet.
Sure.
Alright. So you guys continue on into the dark. Well, not really dark, because again, Sir Lancelot is shining lights everywhere. But you know, you guys continue along, and finally reach that that room where the floor just kind of slunks away in front of you, just kind of like sliding down into a pit filled with rubbish. Clay, since you're still following that path, you're following around to the... Okay. You'd be following the right-hand path through here.
Mm-hmm. Let's follow the right path, yeah.
Alright.
I mean, you told us to follow you, so just lead away.
I'll just keep leading till I can't go no more.
Alright.
I'm gonna, like, keep an ear out or an eye out for, like, some snoring vampire or something like that.
Roll me a perception check.
Vampires known for snoring.
They don't worry.
That's half the reason why people put stakes in their hearts, just so they will shut up and people can get to sleep.
I heard I heard my doctor said not to mess with steaks anymore. It's bad for your heart. All the cholesterol.
Goes right through you.
No, I think steaks are mostly fiber.
Alright.
Wooden
So-
steaks at least.
The rubble in the sloped room, the detritus and whatnot, appears to be shifting as you make your way around the outside of it. You guys are making quite a bit of noise.
Clank, clank.
Step.
And there's just shaking coming up from in there.
I'm readying myself to bitch slap something in the face with chalk and grass. And I'm gonna continue on going, because I don't like this.
Alright. 1 second, please.
Mm-hmm.
I always hate it when I misplace things and then have to go look in the source material. It takes a minute. Okay. Clay, since you're in front, I am going to bring you to Whispers.
Dead.
Oh, goody.
Alright. You hear a voice in your head saying, "Identify yourself."
Wait, I have a... hello, good sir. It's White Feather. I would like entrance to this establishment. Believe me, I bring quality goods.
Identify.
Can I make a check to see where I heard it coming from?
You are starting to realize that whatever you're trying to talk to mentally can't receive mental messages. You're gonna have to say this out loud, so then I can bring you back to the rest of the group. You guys all see Clay just kind of pause.
Yeah. Hello. We come bringing quality gifts, rare items. If you could please let us pass. Let's tell them White Feather sent us.
Who are you talking to?
Don't worry about it.
I will worry about it.
We'll find out soon whether or not they like my answer.
I would like to know who it is before they like the answer or not.
I don't know either, to be honest.
Well, that's
Kind of
comforting.
surprised.
I'm pretty sure this is something that I should worry about.
Sorry,
You
misclick.
know,
Alright. So, up ahead, around the corner of this, because you're still like halfway around the large pit, there is another door. This one is definitely metal. And a slot in it opens up, kind of midway down, and you hear a voice go, "Hey, who are you guys?"
I'm a weary traveler from a distant town, and I came to see
Who
if
is
we could
this?
do business.
Who is this White Feather you spoke of? Never heard of him.
Oh, that's such a shame, man. He's the best in the business. He worked in the capital not long ago.
Never heard of him. And
Such
then,
a shame.
okay. What languages do all of you speak again?
Bum.
Okay, if everyone can hit their language proficiency thing real quick. I can, see who can understand it.
oh, I can.
Eh.
Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna put that under a 1 though, because that's bothering me.
Alright, so I'm thinking only Sir Lancelot can understand. You guys start hearing a bunch of, random growling and, other chirping noises that Sir Lancelot understands perfectly, so I'm going to bring him to Whispers.
God damn it.
And you're hearing in Goblin, "Hey, big guy, what are you doing out there with the rest of the rest of those folks?"
They're my friends. He responds back in Goblin.
Yeah, well, people have been hunting our kind recently, ever since those Argentium freaks just started rounding everybody up and turning them into soldiers and saying that they're gonna form their own kingdom. They've been enslaving all of them folks out there on the roads. We didn't want anything to do with it, but then here in town, those type folks just decided they're gonna come kicking us around.
Then I will have to deal with the ones causing the main issue.
You're dressed pretty funny.
I am a knight.
What? Who ever heard of a bugbear knight?
Apparently not many.
Well, if there's then you hear someone else muttering something, and you can kind of pick it up as, well, if there's a bugbear out there, then they must be okay. There's no way a bugbear would turn on his own goblins just to wet the pockets of those people up there. All right. So you guys just basically heard a bunch of back and forth growls, grunts, and other, weird guttural language between whoever is behind that door and Sir Lancelot. It ends with the door swinging open, and whatever's in that pool in the middle of the room falling silent.
See, everything's fine.
Do I recognize the language they spoke?
Actually, I imagine you would recognize it. They were speaking Goblin.
I turn my head and just look at Sir Lancelot.
Hmm?
You understood what I said, right?
Yes, I speak Goblin.
Can you repeat what I said?
And they're worried that we are with the people above, that hunting them down because of the Armentine group that is turning the goblins into soldiers.
Right.
That's what's causing all the trouble.
So why did they open the door?
Because I told them we're not, and because you're with me, they believe in me.
Alright. Well, let's go inside and
Uh,
ask about the
Kurt?
vampire.
You catch a faint whiff of something cooking behind that door.
And let's see what they're cooking.
Trump, 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 Trump. You guys carefully make your way around the pits, through the door, and find yourself in a small subterranean lair that, probably belonged to something a bit, someone else at some point, like some bigger, maybe some other organization, but is now filled mostly with goblins. Um, you see a lot of, because it's in the north. You're on Meeg. Unlike Eberus, which is most of the goblins, at least the ones that are not from the Underdark, are green skinned and bald. They don't tend to have body hairs. You see more of a mix here. You see some that are kind of greenish skinned, but most of them have hair, and most of them are more like an orangey brownish color. And these are definitely more of a northern goblin. And they just kind of like stare at you. Well, some of them are more green, but all of them seem to have hair. They're just like not different from the Eberus goblins.
Are they wearing wigs?
Roll a perception check. But you see a mixture of them. The ones at the door are definitely armed. They're armed with crossbows. Yeah, you have no idea. They could be wearing wigs just for some weird fashion, or it could just be natural hair. It's weird either way. But you see the ones at the door are armed with crossbows. Evidently they were were alerted that something was outside. You see mostly a lot of the goblins in here just seem to be men, women, and children sort of stuff. You see some goblin children, some others that are just carrying babies and staying back, cooking fires and whatnot. That they're kind of eyeing you with suspicion. There is actually one bugbear there that you can see off to the side. Another male. This one actually looks a bit old, with graying fur.
Goblin heals kind of say, "Hello, well met to all of you."
They kind of look at him with suspicion. Look at you with oddity. But what do the rest of you do?
Kind of walk in slowly to make room for the rest of the people walking behind me.
I'll walk in last. These weren't the kind of folks I was expecting.
I'll walk in the same marching order, after the third person.
All right. So the goblins slowly turn back to whatever business they were doing. Were originally startled by the various, strangers coming in, but the presence of a large bugbear seems to put them a bit more at ease.
Don't mind me for a second. I'm just gonna, rather than ask, I'm gonna try something, and I'm just gonna kind of hunch down, and I'm going to use Primal Awareness, using a spell slot, to see if there's any undead nearby.
What is your favorite terrain? What is your favorite terrain?
Underdark and Forest, but
Yeah, so this doesn't count.
I don't have to be in the Underdark or Forest to use this.
I know. No. I was going for the 6, trying to make sure this wasn't part of the 6 miles.
Oh, no.
I was just double checking on that.
Yeah. No, get me out of here. Put me in the Underdark, please.
you only detect a tiny presence of undead, and while you usually can't tell, exact vicinity only if it's like within a mile of you or not, you kind of get the impression that it's at the outer limit of your awareness. That whatever undead exist around are very far away from you at the moment. There's none directly in front of you in this in this this hideout.
Right. They're not hiding a vampire.
Vampire? One of the goblins just looks up at you with terror.
Yeah, seen one?
Ah, shit. One of our scouting parties far to the north, kind of, on a food run, swear they saw something the other day, a drow, but it was acting kind of weird.
Ah, a
Well,
lead.
that's the one we're looking for.
Yeah.
Finally, we actually have a clue where they are now.
Sweet.
Do you mind letting us know, showing us where?
Hey, Tubbs! Do you remember where it was you saw that drow? And a kind of a smaller than normal looking goblin just kind of hurries up, and this one's like, more like a ball with arms and legs, if you know what I mean. Like, almost no neck. He just kind of looks up at you. Like, yeah. Over in the north, like towards the where the restaurants are, there's usually some good pickings out there. It's much easier to find stuff in the trash if need be, and before people actually notice that you're there. There's better rats too. Bigger,
Curtis taking
hungrier,
notes.
tastier rats. But yeah, saw this weird drow that was wandering around over there, and I stayed away. I mean, drow and a normal drow is dangerous, but what the hell would they be doing in the sewers? It's high and mighty, and he kind of like well, can't really shake his head. He kind of shakes his whole body, but
He wobbles.
what?
He wobbles.
Yeah.
But he doesn't fall down.
So he's
What's
like
the next step today?
says, yeah, yeah, I saw him off in the restaurant district area. Well, the area where there's the best, I think of as the restaurant district. I mean, it's not all restaurants there. There's probably other things too, but all I care about is the fact that there's restaurants and they throw shit away, and it's easier to grab it and it's still good. And like, oh, these people, they waste food.
That they do.
Could you point us in the direction? I mean,
Well,
you wouldn't want a vampire skulking around in your sewers, right?
yeah, no, I don't think they'd want our blood. Not when they can get you the the high and mighty people above. That the humans, the elves, the
Well,
verbolgs, that sort of stuff.
We kind of just dealt with some of the spawn from the vampire, and they're less picky, it would seem.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're right. Well, if it's got a lair somewhere, I bet it's got more spawn then. Who knows what else it's got?
Should we continue chasing today, or should we rest and strategize?
I'm up for it. Continuing.
I don't think we really have the time to rest.
We have to do it before night, otherwise it's just gonna be on the move again, and we're gonna lose the trail.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can we get there before nightfall?
Roll,
Well, I mean,
Do
it's
they know
just
the way?
a mile away.
roll an intelligence check.
All of
Well,
us, or-
I only ask because it sounds like it's moving.
Sure, but as for now, it has to stay on the ground.
Intelligence check?
Who is rolling the intelligence?
Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
I was
just weren't
making
sure
sure.
who rolled.
Oh, whichever one of you was talking about time of day and other stuff like that. Like anybody who wants to roll me an intelligence check, please roll me an intelligence check.
I remember it was afternoon because you said it was earlier, before we went down.
That's why we were.
You've been traveling around for a while though. That's why I'm asking you for an intelligence check.
Sure.
Alright.
Good
You're
job, Clay.
pretty sure you have about 2 hours left until nightfall.
Do you
We
think we
have
can get there?
about 2 hours. If we rush.
All right.
Then we move quickly.
So,
How-
you
do
have
we need to
another
go
way
back
out
and
of
get
this
Grizz?
place?
Oh, sure. We can always go back out the way you came. Just have to be careful of the of old trash mouth down there.
Trash mouse.
Yeah, the Guardian.
Is that why the trash was moving?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is this thing, and why am I intrigued?
We don't have time.
We don't have
I look
time.
at my party and go, we walk past the mimics.
We will learn more when we're done with the dealing with the drow.
So many dishes wasted.
Are you hungry? They're almost done with the rat soup over there.
Ooh,
Oh, we don't have time, Kurt.
that's the third time.
Kurt, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
No!
does my stomach grumble or something?
Oh, no, you are convinced that there is always time for rat stew, rat soup, whatever.
Oh,
Especially after all of the denials your party has made to you, saying that no, you cannot eat the mimics, no, you cannot eat whatever else that is. No. You need to eat something now. You are a gourmand. You must try a new cultural dish.
Alright, so I'm just gonna walk over to where they're cooking the rats. I'm assuming they're doing both stew and just rats on...
Yep, there's a couple of rats on skewers. There's some stews, some soups. Mostly a large cauldron of what appears to be some kind of rat soup, actually.
I'm gonna hand over some like a small bag. There's two small bags, one containing salt, one containing pepper, and like give it to them as for like thanks for sharing food.
The goblins tending this look at your offerings, and are just like their eyes, their yellow eyes just go wide. I'm like, never met a dwarf so generous. And they look like they look like they want to hug you, but they kind of restrain themselves. And like they put that away, and like their eyes are shining with tears. Like this is like the difference between life and death to them.
Like you wouldn't really find anything like this in trash, would you? So I'm thinking probably good for
And
you.
they add a bit of the salt and a bit of the pepper into the soup, and everybody is gathering around, and they stir for a few more minutes, and then one of them tastes it, and it's like, oh, it's so
imagine,
much
like,
better.
I'm like holding up like a finger to my recipe party, like just one more minute. Hold on, it's almost done.
we really don't have time for this.
I'm like, could I just I'll have a taste of the stew, and then could I just have like half a rat on the spaghetti?
Did I really save this man's life so he could waste our time on a rat?
Hey! Did everyone
Yeah,
cooks
I'm gonna
rats
follow
differently?
Amunet.
I'm always willing to
I'm
learn.
just gonna follow Amunet.
Wait, crew! Shit! I grab like a spit with a rat on it, pour some of my own salt on it. Just,
Tabs has also done that, and they hand you a spit with one of the smaller rats, but it still looks tasty, and they hand you a small bowl that was probably a skull at one point, but is completely, a nice skull cracked and colored out and treated and everything like that, and now they've handed that to you, and it's full of soup. And it just smells wonderful with that. It's got like little chunks of meat. It's even got some small chunks of vegetables in there.
Yeah, I like start eating and walking away like rat brains are really good to make. Like you can dry them, and I gotta go. Sorry, I gotta catch up with them. And I like dip the whole rat in the rat stew and eat it.
They wave. No, no, actually, they hunt rats, and as you're walking past, you do notice that there is a one goblin in kind of shamanistic type clothing that is touching a whole barrel of water and mumbling something, and suddenly the water goes from this goes from being brackish to suddenly being clear and sparkling. So it looks like they've got somebody that can cast purify food and water.
Oh my god, a goblin cleric. Yes.
Or a druid. I think druid can do it as well. But still, a goblin cleric would be neat.
Yeah. Cleric to Maglubiet.
Alright, so we're gonna follow the directions we were given, basically.
I think I'm in the last place now, just eating rats too.
Mm-hmm. You rat bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going.
Yep.
Are we getting your mount?
No. We're in the sewers.
I wasn't sure if we were taking the sewers or the
Well,
overworld.
yeah. You've been walking already in the sewers for about an hour,
Okay.
and you've
So
got
yeah,
2
we're
more
gonna go.
hours to find the proper location before nightfall. So
So-
who would like to helm this time? And what would you like to do in order to do it?
I
I
have no
can
ability
go-
to track, so I'm standing.
I'll go up front again. Well, I'll stealth though.
All right.
Alright. If we're all stealthy.
So Clay is stealthing directly in front of the bugbear holding a sunblade.
I'll move a bit further up because I have
Or
dark
come
vision.
closer to me and be in my shadow.
So where he normally is. How else is he going to get his advantage?
I'm also going to give the assistance to Clay for looking around, basically. Whatever he does.
All right. So Clay, how would you like to go about looking for the right path? What skills would you like to use here in the sewers?
Um,
You've got some general directions to head to the north, but it is very difficult to tell actual direction here in the sewer. They did kind of point out that which way north was from the exit of their lair. So at least you have that much.
can I use investigation in some way for this?
Sure.
Like, yeah. Someone is assisting me, right?
Yes, I am assisting.
Is this advantage or is this guidance?
That'll be an advantage. I don't have guidance. I'm a fighter. Oh shit.
How'd you get advantage again?
Someone is assisting me.
I'm
All right.
doing a help action by giving light to a sea.
All right. So yeah, you look around, and yeah, Clay, you again see your thieves' cant every which way, and it's like you got symbols that definitely start pointing you off towards what they've kept referring to as the restaurant area, and these are definitely newer marks in the sewer. Not like they're still written in thieves' cant, but it's like much newer marks. You can tell that with your investigation check. So it's like, probably only been here since the goblins took refuge here in the sewers and either found an abandoned thieves space or took it over, or maybe a couple of goblins used to be were thieves and had the base. It's hard to tell really what happened here, but they have it now. They have that as their lair, and they've been using thieves' cant to mark their path around the city underground. And so
I'm following my tracks.
but you quickly, follow the way to the restaurant area where 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 the one goblin was telling you he had been, seen a drow that you guys know is actually a vampire. You finally get to a four-way with with a ladder going up, kind of like just in the middle of things. Um, and this is where it's like more difficult to tell which path you should take. So there's like 5 different directions, like, well, 4 really, because you just came up one of them. But it's hard to tell which of the directions. Like, you got directly in front of you, you got left and right, and you've got up. But you pretty much are certain, Clay, that you're in the restaurant area, because that's where the thieves' can is telling you.
Can Almanet use her Hunter's Bane to get an advantage on a survival check to see if she can find any traces of undead in any certain direction?
All right, go for it. Why is Hunter's Bane referencing Fae? I'm just curious.
It
believe
says track
there's a ghost.
Fae fiends or
Oh, Fae
undead.
fiends are ended. I didn't. For some reason, I didn't see that part of it. I just saw the Fae. I thought that was a period after that. Ugh. Yeah, maybe I need new glasses.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I wear glasses when I'm doing this because I usually sit back far enough. but yeah. So as you gaze around, it's hard to get a sense exactly which way to go. I mean, there's so many directions, but then you look off into one direction, off to your right, and you just have this feeling that if you went that way, you will definitely encounter some undead.
I think this is my cut-off point for being the leader. Whatever is that way, it's something you want to kill, I think.
You're
I
fine.
think,
You said we should follow in your footsteps like always.
I said follow my example, not my footsteps.
You said your footsteps.
You said
exactly.
footsteps.
No, you're
Like
misremembering.
always.
You're misremembering.
Alright, I'm gonna
It's
follow right
remember
behind
anything.
Emunet.
I'm recalling
Yeah,
the
same.
See, now it's his time to follow in my example and lead the group. Right, Lancelot? And I pat him.
I'm following Marina because she knows.
Lancelot's not leading.
As always, I shall be fourth.
So, okay. So who's leading the group?
Almanet.
All right. That's the order, because that's the direction you guys are going in.
Right, so who's first?
Almanet.
Thank you.
Good is last.
Ah!
Oh,
What?
Did you
Why is
goose?
Kurt down there?
What the fuck?
I was just trying to move you over so that I can put things out on the map in a minute. So, as you begin to tramp along in the darkness, Sir Lancelot, the first thing that happens, as after another minute or two, as you walk along, is that you notice that the shadows in this corridor, 2 of them at the very least, last a moment longer than expected with the light shining the way it is, and then it's almost as if they're retreating back into the darkness.
Call us out, basically.
Sorry, I'll be just one moment.
Hearing this, can she do an intelligence check to try to figure out what that is?
Sure.
With advantage of undead?
Yes, you get advantage. You're pretty sure there's a shadow, or maybe more than one shadow, up ahead.
And she would know what those are.
Yeah, she would be aware that shadows are a form of undead. They're amorphous. They pretty much can't be seen in dim light in full darkness, but they are weak to sunlight, and the sun sword sometimes qualifies for that.
I'm sorry about that. I have returned.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hold on, I'm trying to find. I was gonna put something sewery down on the map so that you guys could could see where you were standing. Um, so you don't necessarily step in the water and know where the water is. Uh, you know that you've heard whispers of in your time, especially with the goddess that you've been serving, that the some of the shadows, at least ones on the on the Shadowfell, not necessarily all the ones here on the material plane, but some of the shadows on the most of the shadows on the Shadowfell are controlled, cared for, and watched over by something that was referred to as as the Mother of Shadows. That gets pretty angry if somebody that worships or also you know uh, what's the word I'm trying to look for, worships
Serves.
or worships, serves, draws power from the Mother of Shadows. If they get into a fight with a shadow that's you know one of her children, she gets really pissed off. um
Would Aminet know if that fell into her realm or not?
no. She would just be aware of this thing, like if anybody here in this group happens to, oh, this is a full map, duh, I don't want that. I was looking just for something that looked like sewer water. uh
And when it was small, it looked like sewer water.
yeah, but I had to make it big. I'm just gonna type in water and see
Can you
what
not
happens.
stretch it? Do you have to make it proportionate?
Well, I'm making water so that you guys know where not to step.
Yeah.
And it's I guess this color will work. But because you guys currently are walking in a sewer, there is a lot of water in between, and there are two sides. But you guys, so you would know that again that these things, many of them get claimed by the Mother of Shadows. If anybody also has a recourse with her, that they can usually force shadows that are not part of her, under her command or under her protection, to go seek her out and drive them off that way. But since you have no contact with the Mother of Shadows and you've only just kind of heard rumors about such a thing, you don't know if any of your companions are beholden to her or anything else. By the way, there is anywhere that's blank is should be considered a wall. So this is pretty much what you
Other
guys
than
have.
the ends, I'm guessing.
Other than the ends. But this is pretty much how much space you guys have and where all the water is.
Okay. How far down to the water?
You can just step off and fall in. You don't, because it's brackish. You don't actually know how deep it is.
Oh, I was meaning, like, is it inches from where we're standing, or is
Yeah,
it a foot or so?
you can step over and dip your toe in easily.
Okay, thank you.
But you do know that you don't want shadow. You don't really want to get into a fight with a shadow because they can drain your strength, and they are very hard to hit.
Surely that's how.
But they are quite vulnerable to radiant.
Oh, are they now?
But they are completely immune to necrotic and poison. You also can't scare them. You can't hold on to them. You can't turn them to stone. You can't you can't make them go prone because they're amorphous. Again, like, because you can't grab them, you can't restrain them, and nothing will paralyze them. So you know all that from your readings and studyings of undead.
Surely that's at the party. And she'll ready her crossbow.
And a lot of magic outside of radiant doesn't do much damage to them either. But they've kind of much like vanished off this way. And as you guys continue to walk, the water begins to shift. And well, Kurt, you guys have been walking along enough that your stew and rat are probably gone by now, unless you take about an hour to eat.
I've been enjoying it.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, maybe. Oops. Do I not? Oh, I thought I already had this on. Yeah. It's the only difficulty with running 3 games is you sometimes forget which tokens you have and haven't imported. It's like, wait a second, I thought this one was already in there.
Token.
So,
All right, we're fucked.
yeah, as you guys walk through, Clay was the only one to try to stealth, and he was pretty loud. Things start emerging from the water.
So what you said before was foreshadowing. You lied to us.
Well, I really hadn't. It's like it just really depended on what you were doing. I was just kind of saying that right now where you were heading in, you weren't going to run into that.
Liar.
She said that they felt right at the edge of your range.
Mhm.
Oh no. Not a ghast.
Oh.
I hate these guys.
I recognize that token, Grizz. You threw 4 of them at me. So it was kind of my fault.
Well, you were Warforged at the time,
I know,
therefore
but
it's like you were
one thing I was
fine.
wondering is that you had me roll a save, and rolling high punched me through.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's because I was
But
trying
that
to
meant-
see how strong your fall was,
Okay.
and it's like, oh, not all things. If it's like against something like that, and that's one of those times where not all things are necessarily going to be good to roll high for.
I feel like because you made me roll a save.
Yeah, I think
Maybe you
I
just meant it
misspoke
as a
of that.
strength roll, which
I meant it as
regardless
a
of
strength. I meant it as a strength roll, but still, you rolled like a natural 20 or something like that.
yeah, I rolled a 24 or a 22 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hit it very, very hard. Just because of your logic, I thought you were meant to have me roll like a deck save to not slam down into it full force. But regardless, I lived, and I don't think they landed a hit on me even.
Yeah, you were Warforged.
20 AC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I didn't roll a 4.
You are so easily excited. That's great. I love
Yeah,
that. I love it when people are easily excited. It's wonderful.
Well, bottom of the line I go.
You're in all of my campaigns. You've seen how low my initiatives are. And this is 2 combats in a row. I'm first. How would I not be happy about that?
Oops, I'm missing a ghoul somewhere.
I know.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Well, there's 4 of them, and I'd only rolled for 3, so.
Nah.
Alright, Collateral, you're the first one who notices these things.
All right. How deep is the water with the way they are standing?
It's up to mid-body on these guys. It's like, basically their heads and half of their torsos and their arms have now gotten out of the water, but their
Alright.
legs and the lower half of their bodies are submerged.
Sounds good. If you can let me read up on this real quick, go ahead and do your thing. I'm reading a spell.
I need to be above 2 of the zombies because I forgot to put on Dex tiebreak. Because I have 18 Dex instead of their
There we
50.
go.
It's not gonna make a difference, but hey.
Quick question. When I cast Flaming Sphere, does it do damage on that moment?
Well, it seemed to have been a concentration spell. At least it seemed to when that one druid cast it. But
It is a concentration spell, and I remember you having us roll damage at the start. But I was just wondering, are we ruling that it does damage on cast? Because this just specifies when they end their turn.
I think it's
Or when you smash it into stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it would hit at the first time because you summon it and bump it into something.
yeah. What does the text say when you cast it?
It literally just any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
All right.
Takes 2d6 damage on a failed save, has half as much on a successful. And then as a bonus action, I can move it and ram it into 1 if I choose.
So it has a range of 5 feet, is what you're saying.
It's a 15-foot square. 15 by 15.
Okay. The thing itself is 15 by 15, and then it has 5-foot range around it.
No, it occupies 1 5-foot square and then reaches 5 feet in every direction.
Okay, that's what I was trying to ask.
So the entire damage field is
Ah.
a 15.
Yeah, that. Sorry, that's.
You're fine.
No, what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out to put a 5 in the aura slot or not.
I would.
There we go. See, that's how that would look. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this under
Actually,
your.
it's a sphere. Sorry, not a cube.
That is a sphere.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
I
hits
said
the
cube.
same squares. Doesn't. It's not gonna make a difference in this case.
So do I roll damage?
You get to move it. It's now under your control.
That's actually exactly where I was gonna put it.
Okay, cool.
Actually, wait. Does it do damage on initial? Because if it does, I'm
Roll-
putting it there.
wait,
If it doesn't, I'm putting it there.
Hit your spell thing. See what it says. It'll
Okay.
display it. Or not. I guess
on
it's on
attack
creative.
and on
Your
spell
spell.
cards.
You have to go into your spell sheet.
I'm looking at it, but I'm telling you, it doesn't say on initiation. But I wanted to know what you.
It's easier for me to look at it when you actually use the spell card. So.
I mean, it's an
I did
action
cast
to
it.
cast, right?
Yes, it is a full action to cast and then a bonus action to move it. But
Yeah,
there's
can't you just
nothing I
cast it
have-
and then immediately use your bonus action?
Ah, there we go.
Thank you.
Hold on. Fire prisoner. Spell objects. It looks like it's only when a creature ends its turn in there.
Okay.
Although the second section as a bonus action.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I feel like
so
that kind of.
But
it
you have to,
doesn't
but the creature has to be touched by the spear. Throwing it in between them, it won't do anything to them this round. You actually have to
but-
land it on some. There we go, like
and
on that.
Can I cast it on them to do the damage and then use bonus action to move though? I don't know if I could cast it on something or not.
It says
Because the
appears
wood.
in an unoccupied space, so you can't cast it.
Oh,
on
okay, so it's the
anything.
bonus actions then to move it into that ghast.
Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes. And then I was gonna
All right.
boom.
You guys are
Drop a
completely immune to stench at the moment, so that's good.
And quick thing. Just
Yeah?
because I have this, would I add the charisma modifier every time, or is it only when I cast attacks? Because the wording is somewhat ambiguous.
What do you mean? I don't understand exactly.
When I cast a spell that deals radiant or fire damage, you add your charisma modifier to one radiant or fire damage roll of that spell against one of its targets.
Don't you
Is it
always
only-
do that? I'm confused.
Yeah, that counts on this.
I was
Is
wondering,
it-
would that count on later turns because it's already cast? Is it only a one
It's always
a one and done,
it's
or
always
is it...
damage. That's always how the damage is calculated.
Whenever you do damage with those prerequisites, it works.
Okay, thank you. I want
Yeah.
to make sure it wasn't only on the instance of casting it, not on later rounds.
No, it's every round. It's
Okay.
That's because it's still the spell. That's still the casting. It doesn't change anything.
I wanted to make sure. So it gets an additional 4 damage. So
All right.
12, 16 damage on a failed save. Half on a successful.
Yeah, it succeeded. Oh, wait, hold on. The 16 was. 16 was first. Oof.
And it's a 17 save.
Yeah, I just noticed that. No, I only noticed the 22 and didn't realize I accidentally hit it twice. So hold on a second. I need to remember what I just did. Okay. There we go. Alright. You did your action and your bonus action.
Yep. And I will stay where I am.
Okay, so this ghoul tries to clamber up and goes for the big guy, because it's dumb. Claws out at him. And misses.
Nope.
Clay!
Yes.
What do you do?
Can I run up here, smack it, and run back?
You'd have disadvantage because you're in somebody else's space.
Sure. It doesn't happen to be wearing metal armor, right?
It's not wearing armor. Miss.
Oh, right, methane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah,
literally the guy who said don't use fire. Use fire.
Yep. And
I
in a
mean-
I
moment,
completely forgot about the methane.
Yep, and I am going to figure out in a minute if the methane ignites
Good job.
on the ghoul's turn, on the next ghoul's turn.
Oh.
Don't use fire. Cast fire immediately.
So far, you're in luck. The moisture in the air seems to be canceling out any ignition of methane in this area.
I was hoping the water would do something about that, but still.
It changes the
Fucked up.
DC on the roll for methane.
Okay. I think methane suffuses into water well enough, so
Yeah.
depending on
Well,
how
it does,
chemistry-minded
yeah.
you are.
But there's also methane in throughout the tunnel, so it's like
Mhm.
this is not just water; it's water with covered in filth, which means it can catch
Yeah.
on fire.
I wouldn't mind that.
So this one is clawing out at Amunet.
Does that hit? Because I would like to do that.
Yeah, it hits. Why is
Warding
my
maneuver.
AC only 13? It should be 15.
What?
Oh, got it. Nothing. My AC should be higher.
Yeah, and you also need to roll a Constitution saving throw.
It
What
is
is your
your
AC with a +4? I don't know
My AC should be 15, so plus 4 should be 19. So it'll
Which
still
is
hit.
that's-
yeah. Even if I had a disadvantage, it would have still hit. But which means you still have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'll get to that one moment.
Okay.
Please.
On the bright side, she has resistance to the damage now.
Oh, wait a second. What damage is that?
Slashing.
Hey, good thing Lancelot likes you. Oh God.
Hmm.
It's just getting very close.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not paralyzed. That's good. And the next ghoul. Let's see. These guys have to move at half. At half while they're in the move at half speed while in the water, which means it cannot get all the way over there. It's only got 30 feet. So that's 20 feet up here, and then another 10. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oops, then this goes 5, 10, 15. Goes back down here for 25. Amunet.
I need to read something real quick. 1 second.
Also, Flaming Sphere does ignite things not being worn or carried, so.
Yep.
Treat that as you will.
Yep, I was reading it. As I said, I do have a DC in mind for sewer methane.
Yeah.
What is this? Within 10 feet? That is... This one's 15 feet away, right?
Which one is 15 feet away? I'm sorry, I was double checking something. Yeah.
She will... lightning crossbow to the one in front.
You have Crossbow Master, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Hooray for that.
So, let's see. 18. 2 hits. That is 20. Okay.
Nice.
You see 2 crossbows, just like, 3 crossbows actually, wing out from her crossbows, with lightning just kind of sparkling on them, and 2 hit into the shoulders of the ghoul, and 1 just kind of misses, and then all 3 just kind of vanish in a puff of smoke.
Lightning doesn't spark, right?
It doesn't seem to, no.
Whew, whew.
Yeah, Sir Lancelot.
Well, first I'm gonna smack this fool that tried to smack me. I'll make sure I'm still set to public now.
Nice, pretty new blade.
And they are undead, so this is gonna hurt.
Yep.
If I don't miss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't have advantage, does he?
Even so, Nat 1 automatic. Oh, right, sorry, yeah. It's like, it's interesting. These things have AC close to that, but Nat 1 is auto fail because Nat 20 is an auto succeed.
Oh, I'm glad I swung that one first, because now I'm gonna swing at the one over her shoulder, because I have 5 feet increased reach.
Mm-hmm.
Because long limbed.
Yep. The advantage of bugbears.
There it goes.
And it's all radiant now.
Mm.
Yeah. That's nice.
So it'll be 9 plus 5, basically, because the doing two-handed.
Yeah, and these things, while they are undead, aren't any more vulnerable to. Yours are two-handed. Okay, so that's 14. Are vulnerable to not any more vulnerable to radiant than anything else.
I have a question because I'm sorry about this. How much AC did that add to Amunet?
Only 4 for that one attack.
Yeah, so her AC would have been 17, which would have been 21 because she has that chain shirt that Athnar gave her.
Yeah.
That was
Still
still,
hit.
It would still
still
have
have hit.
23
I
on
have
the
a
attack
23
roll.
on the attack roll.
Yeah. Well, you still only took, what, 6 damage, so that's nice.
Oh, 6? I took 13.
You have
Nope.
resistance.
That thing also gives resistance to any damage that you would have taken. Sorry.
Thank you, Fluffy.
Which means you get plus 7 back to your HP. Kurt, your turn. No worries.
You're all right.
Oh, all right. I'm going to. I don't have it in my handouts, but I'm going to use the sword that flies.
Okay.
The pancake sword.
Yes, I throw it up and yell "pancake sword," and then it flies off and attacks this one. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter which one I threw it up. It's now under your control. It's a generic sword.
Yeah, so I'll put it there and it attacks this one.
All right.
Let's see here. There it is.
Let's hope it rolls. Oh,
Wow.
say I hope it rolls better
Miss.
this time.
Yeah, alright, and that was my bonus action. So now I'm gonna use my action to would it be difficult terrain for me to walk through this water?
Yes, especially since because you're a dwarf, it is going to be up to your beard.
Alright, hold on. Well, I mean, it's not like my beard can get.
Sir
dirty.
Lancelot maybe might. Well, even with Sir Lancelot, it'd be difficult terrain just because it's a liquid, a moving liquid that he's trying to walk through. Not that it's up so high, but for Kurt, yeah, Kurt, it's gonna be up to your beard if you do that.
Okay.
Everything you own is gonna be wet and covered in fecal matter.
5, 10, 15. I wouldn't make it. I estimate their height and my height, and I take out my heavy crossbow and shoot it instead.
Okay.
If I can lean around and shoot.
Yeah, you could probably lean around Clay and shoot at that one without potentially hurting anybody in your party.
Wow.
Yep. Twing! The bolt just drops into the water and is gone. Unretrievable.
Lovely.
Alright.
That's my turn.
Ghast is going to move. Okay, so 10, 20, 30. And then... No, it's going to stay right there. Char!
Char's going to put Shillelagh on his club and hit this guy.
Okay.
Bonk.
Wrap it.
And that's my turn.
You going clubbing now?
Let's see.
Yeah.
10, 20, 30. 5,
So we walk
10.
through it.
20, and 30. There we go. Caladrill.
Wow. I will use my bonus action. Move this right here.
Okay.
So I'd roll that again.
Mhm. That thing fails, so that
did
takes
17?
17 points of damage. Nice.
Yeah. And then?
And then I rolled to see if it catches the methane on fire. And it did.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Arminette. I'm sorry.
There is a sudden eruption as the flaming sphere starts setting the air around you guys on fire. I'm just looking for
What
a little
happens?
fire token. Hold on, I'm looking for an actual little fire token, much like we had on the other night.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. The things there start to burn a bit. Fire starts hitting this guy here. Fire hits that guy there. I think the flaming. That's all it can get from the flaming sphere, which means Amunet is not actually in danger at the moment.
Whew.
Which is a good thing.
Do you want to do the damage roll from web, the 2d4?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that. I was just dragging it out because I also had my other rules that I was using for spreading and for to see if
Anyway.
if the fire burns out or not. But of course, the fire would probably burn out quickly because there's nothing to hold it except for the air itself. But that doesn't mean it can't spread because of the air as well.
Now, I
So
still have
what's
my
your
action.
what's your action? As you suddenly see the thing, everything over there bursting into flames.
I'm going to, well, not putting myself like precariously. I'm going to be trying to angle my Eldritch Blast on that line.
Okay.
Either it'll get. You can make the call, but it'll either go one of those ways based off of Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
I'm about to womp. And does that hit?
Yes, it does. 26.
Alright,
Of course,
here we
it's gonna
go.
hit. What do you think it is? An elder dragon with some heavy protections?
Just making sure. I don't want to assume jack shit. So, which way does it go?
It just hit that thing. It doesn't seem to.
Well, it's pushing.
Oh, you're pushing. Oh, that's right. That's right. Your special thing is pushing it. So let's see.
Yeah.
That one would go this way.
Okay. And then, miss.
I do unfortunately have to go. A
Oh,
little earlier than I anticipated. Sorry.
Aw.
everything all right?
Yeah, just family stuff.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't know that you were going so early today. I'm sorry.
I completely forgot about it until today. I knew about a week ahead.
Yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow then.
Yep. We'll catch you.
Let's see. This school here goes for Amunet. I do believe that's a miss. Clay, what do you do?
Can I try and swipe Galadriel's sling?
Roll a sleight of hand check. Alright.
That's not a disadvantage.
Uh,
That's my action.
Yep,
Probably.
that is your action. You have taken Galadriel's sling. Galadriel, roll me a perception check.
I don't care. I offered the sling.
Yeah, it's a 22.
No, he wanted to swipe it, so he swiped it.
Yeah. I'm like, if I can roll the perception if you want to notice it, but I just
Yeah.
kind of had it.
Do whatever. I'm gonna use it in a second. So
Yeah,
you're
you don't even notice that he's taken it. But that was
I'm a
your
little
action. Do you have a bonus
preoccupied.
action?
Yeah. Is Mage Hand is an action, right? To cast. Yeah, I can't cast Mage Hand.
Yeah.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, that ghoul there is in fire, so it takes damage. And I have my special rolling kit right next to me, so I'm not going to bother with roll 20s. Huh, it only took 2 damage. Ah, stupid thing. That. Let's see here. What's the other one I have? No, that one's to see if it stays. Oh, whoops. First thing it's going to do is going to find out if that fire spreads off that thing's body or not. Oh, no, wait. No, that wouldn't be it, because it's... Never mind. That's at the top of the round. Nothing. So the ghoul... believing that it's going to get rid of the fire, which it does in that case, steps down there and goes for Amunet. Actually, it's a disadvantage. Well, even a disadvantage, that's 22, so that would be 5 points of damage, which I believe is reduced, but Amunet, you still have to roll me a Constitution saving throw. Because of the unwavering mark. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't
Are
hear
you
anybody.
alright, Amunet?
I didn't hear anybody saying
You've been
anything, and I thought that maybe my mic had dropped.
Is
That
Amunet alright though?
That happens sometimes. Oh, she clearly hears me. I don't know if her mic.
Oh,
And now she's paralyzed. You just kind of feel, as its claws dig into your skin, even though you don't take as much damage as you would otherwise because of Sir Lancelot, you just kind of feel your body just lock up, and you can't even move. And this lasts for a full minute, which is 10 rounds, so I'm going to put a 9 there. And Caladriel, roll the side damage for for your flaming sphere. Hi, Lyra. Alright, so it's saved. Oh, it's dead anyway. Even with half damage, it's dead. Just kind of hadn't realized that the fire was still gonna hit it there, because it's an undead. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Ah, good for Amunet. Oh, whoops, there was another ghoul first. My bad. So unfortunately, there is another ghoul that takes its turn before you get unlocked, Amunet. It takes damage though first. Let's see if it's still alive after the damage it takes from being on fire. It takes 6 damage. Oh, I can't see the screen, Lyra. Oh, never mind, it's dead. You don't have to worry. The fire killed it, and its body sinks into the water. So yeah, Amunet, at the end of your turn, you are no longer affected, which means nothing has advantage on you for being paralyzed. Lancelot isn't here. Hello, Lyra. I know you're staring at me, but you look okay, so I'm just gonna pet you. You are a sweet girl. Let's see. He is going to hit with his sun sword. Getting more people in the channel today. Or sunblade, rather.
ooh,
Let's see.
that's a juicy hit.
Yeah, that thing's dead. And it probably says something cool like, look at that, the sun killed it, or something cool like that I can't say because I'm not him.
Dead now.
Yeah. I think because he likes to protect Aminette, he is going to walk past her into the radius of the flaming sphere, not realizing the damage it can do to him. Unless do you have a vision against hurting your allies?
I don't. It just deals damage.
Yeah. So he is going to
And I
use
upcast it.
his other attack to kill the ghast. And he is going to end his turn there, which then gets him afflicted by the fire damage. No, Lyra, that's my pen. Alright, so dexterity saving throw. Let's see, the ghast is dead.
Doesn't he have a 15-foot reach?
No, because of the sword.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, with the halberd he did, but not with the flaming blade.
And now both cats are on me. Yeah, he takes half of that, which is good.
Really a problem, though?
Only when they're trying to eat my dice. And sitting in front of the monitor that I'm using to watch you guys, or sitting on my notes. But yeah, other than that, they're purring balls of fun. So that is. There we go. And he probably goes, "Ow, fire hurt." Kurt, you're up.
All right, I move the sword, attack the ghoul,
All right.
and then I shoot it.
Pancake sword gets a good hit against that.
Is it already hurt?
It is now already hurt thanks to the pancake sword.
So now it's hurt. It wasn't hurt before.
It wasn't hurt before, but it is hurt now.
All right, and I'm gonna add that and shoot it.
And that will be enough to end whatever's left of that poor ghoul. It is dead. Its body just collapses into the water.
I return the sword to me.
Caladriel, do you leave the flaming sphere
Dismiss.
up? Okay.
Dismiss.
And that little fireball over there just doesn't push away. Thankfully, this was not an enclosed space like a lavatory where even a small firebolt spell can cause an explosion. Because that happened
quick
once.
Quick question for the flaming sphere.
Mhm.
If I choose to drop it, how much of an action does it take?
I
Full
believe
action,
it's either
bonus?
I believe
Is it
it's either
free?
a bonus or a free action. In fact, I'm probably sure it's a free action. But of course, it has to be done on your turn.
Yeah, it doesn't specify, but it's concentration, so I know it can be dropped.
Yeah. And with that, we are going to take a 5-minute break for bathroom and other goodness. And I'm back.
Welcome
Part of
back.
the reason why the kitties were coming in here is because their food bowl was empty. And they wanted feeding. But they don't act like assholes about it. They just want to come and cuddle with me for a bit and, hope that I get up and go look in their food dish. Stupid R button still doesn't want to work. So I keep having to press it. Which is why you probably see anytime I'm writing something that's not from my phone, the R button, the R is sometimes missing from whatever I'm saying.
Here you go.
No, I can. No, normally I remember to use autocorrect to fix the gap, but it's still annoying. And it does actually type. It's just that I keep having to hit it, and sometimes I'll hit it so many times because it delays that a bunch of R's will crawl across the screen.
And then you just sound like a pirate.
Arr! So, how's everyone doing tonight?
Realizing that I have still coffee in my coffee brewer and I don't want it to get burned, so I'm gonna go and get some.
And how are you doing, Cloud? AFK, baby. Okay. Welcome back, Stormtossed.
Hello.
How's Glad doing?
She's napping.
Aw, okay.
Still recovering from all the BS.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she'll be up and ready for tomorrow night.
She should be fine. She may need to take a nap in the middle of the day, but
Napping
she
is good.
should be okay.
Napping is good. And since there's no work for me on Monday, I don't have to go to sleep early. I can stay up.
For once.
Well, yeah, hopefully I will not be falling asleep in the middle of battle, but...
So, like, I'm an oddity. I can go to bed at 1 o'clock, not fall asleep till 1:30 or 2 o'clock, then wake up at 8:30 wide awake and rested.
Yeah, I sometimes toss and turn all night and still I'm fine and functional the entire day and still can't fall asleep the next night. It's...
Mind you, I tend to fall asleep early on the weekends, so I think my body's just used to this weird schedule from me working nights, where I don't operate on a lot of sleep, and I just kind of almost like I run that deficit, where I'm okay, but then the weekend my body just rests it all back.
Yeah, people
Also,
do
did you see
that.
my message? I don't know if Shuttle did, but did she dip?
When we get back, I hand Amunet a greater healing potion. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea where Shuttle is right now. In fact, I don't even see her on roll 20. I wonder where she is.
She might have lost connection.
Maybe.
She is on row 20, but just
Oh,
not.
sorry. No, I didn't mean to say roll 20. I meant to say Discord.
Yeah, Discord.
Yeah,
I mean,
she completely
she's
dipped out of the
online.
channel.
Yeah, she's online in Discord.
Maybe she misunderstood
what
thought we were ending for the day.
What? No,
Maybe
I've almost always got a break in the middle of things. Occasionally, a battle will run so long that we don't have time. that happened the other week. But
It was still fun though.
yeah. Well, as I said, you guys aggroed almost everything on the ship all into one fight. That was kind of epic.
I thought you were talking about just now.
Oh no,
Or, the last session for this. How we pissed off
Oh,
everything.
there was that too. No, I was talking about the other Wednesday when you guys managed to aggro everything on the ship and have it attack you all guys all at once, and then you nearly set the ship on fire.
Hey, I needed to clear out that roof. There were like
It was a
everyone doing
corridor.
half damage on the fucking swarms.
Yeah. Well, that's how swarms operate.
Also, I do understand that you were just running the creatures the way they are, but I still think it's bullshit that the swarms could not be charmed.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at you.
Sadly.
I'm mad at the ruling for those specific swarms being immune to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I mean, in some ways, dramatically, it worked out. It worked really well because, from Fumble's point of view, I charmed all these other people before. Now I'm gonna do it again, and this time it doesn't work. So from a dramatic standpoint, that was pretty awesome. But I mean, at the same time, it's like bullshit for rules. But yeah.
At the end of the day, all that happened was we lost a spell slot and we survived and all that, so it's no big deal. It was just frustrating.
Yeah, but
because
that does happen.
Yeah.
That's that book. Where's my creature book? Here's my creature book. Time to put these cards back. I have all the creature and spell and item cards. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can take them out and look at them and go, okay, I think I want to use this, this, and this tonight.
You're back.
Shuttle! We have a shuttle back. Yay! Shuttle was very, very much missed.
Also, you have a healing potion now. Woohoo.
Yeah, you were handed a greater healing potion.
You can drink it if you want, but regardless, you have one now. Sorry, I bumped my mic pretty good.
Alrighty. Oh, nice.
Does she have both rights going? Or is she just using one? I was just wondering because I couldn't remember how her health stuff
We're
worked.
on the level 5? I thought that was that many hit points per level. For each of them.
Well, she might have dropped her hit point max down. So it reads that way.
Ah, okay, that's a good point.
It used to be you drop your max hit points.
Oh no, that's right. You're trying the new build. You're doing the new build.
New build.
Yeah.
So my hit points. There's a new build out, and so
like
now
a new
you
version?
don't lower your maximum hit points. You just take the damage through your hemo, whatever the fuck die it is. So my hit points were reduced for the total from last game because I was running the other build, and so I just kept it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's just a harder thing to keep track of on Roll20. Because on Roll20 you can't see that stuff easily. It doesn't get it's really difficult with temp HP either positive or negative. In fact, you can't even do negative in those type of slots. You can only do positive, so it's like that's yeah.
Yeah, that's why she started with a chunk missing this session because she couldn't roll up that high.
Yeah.
I guess technically she could have, but I didn't.
Are we all back?
Yeah. I think so.
Real quick question with Amina. Does that mean that when she drops her right, does she still get that health back? Or are you saying that every time she activates her right, she just doesn't lose health, but loses health on the blood stuff?
No, every single time I activate my rights now, in this build I have to roll a die and I take that much damage. It can be healed.
Okay,
Oh,
but you don't get it back on dropping the right.
No, that's how it used to work.
That's very convenient, and I think I'm gonna have to talk to Caleb about whether or not I can use that. Because I've got a blood
Um,
hunter in his game, and he is very fond of blood hunters, and we're gonna have to talk maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that change is a lot easier because the temp HP thing was hard to keep track
Yeah, as I said, that's very hard to keep track of on Roll20. It's easier to keep track of if you're using D&D Beyond or just using a regular sheet, because you just write out notes and whatnot. But Roll20, it's like everything's there directly in front of you, and so it's much harder to like write down notes and then not do it on your sheet like in front of you, or so everybody can see. But anyway, so now that you've taken care of those undead, what would you guys like to do?
I'm ready to continue.
Yeah, we're keep walking.
Yeah, Sir Lancelot takes the lead, saying something about the shadows and the fact that his sword made them go away. So he's like holding up his sun blade and just driving off all the shadows that are you can see in this hallway. Well, sewer way. That you guys.
What kind of shadow?
go
Like
by.
just the absence of light, or does there seem to be a sentience to it?
And it will turn. It's a shadow. It's not the absence of light. It's a being, a creature.
Well, I know there are shadows, but I was just confused about the wording out of character.
Oh, out of character? No, it's a monster.
Yeah, it's a being.
Because I remember her mentioning them. There's the shadow that just saps strength, and then there's the shadowfell ones that are beholden to the mother. Or
Technically, they are one and the same,
They're
but
the same.
the ones.
But the other ones have an allegiance.
It's basically what Amunet knows about it, and depending on what she told you guys or not, the ones here, it's impossible to tell if they've been claimed or if they're feral. If they're feral, they will attack people regardless. If they, however, beholden to the Mother of Shadows, if anybody else in the party happens to have contact with the Mother of Shadows, they can sometimes move past them without harm, assuming that they do not in turn harm the shadows.
Clay seems like the kind of person that would have that shady dealing.
Possibly, we can talk about that.
Hey, Clay.
I'm saying out of character because of how much he loves his darkness.
Yeah.
Give me shade.
Yeah, I'm throwing shade just like you are.
See, even people that don't know you, Quentin, end up calling you Shady Biz.
No, he literally throws shade.
Yes, I know, that's my point.
Hey.
You are here, right, Quentin?
Yeah, this is not a fair assessment of Clay, and I object to it.
Oh, he
No, it's a
finally
fair assessment of the
Caladriel does not know you at all, and he still ends up coming up with the same nickname.
Fuck y'all.
Some-
Fuck y'all. Really.
It's a very fair assessment.
Whatever, Slim Shady.
Come on, dude, own it. You
That wasn't even in character. I was just making a joke because he uses a shadow weapon.
Caladriel, I don't like you no more, man.
That's
You're
out
He's
of
so-
character, god damn it.
He said it out of character. He didn't say it in character.
Yeah, nope. He dropped. Yeah, nope. I
No,
don't need you.
No metagaming. Clay has no idea that Caladriel's player said something like that.
Oh, Clay doesn't need a reason to fuck with Caladriel. He
Yes.
can already do it.
Ah, joy.
Oh boy.
I will say out of character.
And the GM does not
I don't
need a
mind
reason
pranks
for the
and whatnot.
The GM does
But-
not need a reason to collapse the ceiling in on you either, but, the GM does not want to be a dick about it. Anyway.
Let's just get going.
Mind you, I don't mind pranks, but don't steal any of my valuable shit.
We'll see.
Don't do something that would cripple my character. That's all I care about.
I try not to.
Clay
I'm saying,
is...
that's what I'm saying. Don't intentionally cripple my character.
Look,
Oh, there will
your
be
clothing
issues.
style is already crippled. That's the only thing
He's
I
saying that out of...
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm also out of character talking.
Yeah, some of us dress practically.
I mean, it is face palming. Yes, I agree with that.
Let's go kill this vampire.
Fight, fight, fight.
At least I don't need to buy my glitter.
Ooh.
Okay.
GM makes popcorn and it just sits there listening in on
It's
this.
time to throw down.
Well then.
This is a case of the GM is going to
I'm
is going
putting
to
you on Eldritch Blast.
this is a moment where the GM is
maybe
going to
not.
go away, make popcorn, come back, and watch the resulting chaos.
Moving on.
Either way. I may not be a bard, but I will use cutting words.
Those of you that know the show Community would probably recognize this maneuver. Alright. So Lancelot continues on. Amunet is probably serving as guide. What would Amunet like to do to...
You alright, Grizz?
Yeah, I'm fine. Find the path. Just my asthma. Don't worry about it.
She'll keep doing the Hunter's Bane with Undead and use advantage for a survival check.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, that happens.
Don't worry about it.
It's not
What are you
terrible,
thinking about
terrible.
there?
It was a natural 1 and a natural 2. How does it get it?
Less?
It could be double ones.
Like,
Double
it wasn't
that
that terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm just gonna have to decide now what happens next.
Everything explodes.
No.
If something bad is going to happen, just because Fluffy's not here, Amunet will be in the front. Just gonna throw that out there.
That's fine by me. Alright.
I'll be nice and in the back.
No, I'm in
I don't want his character getting fucked with just because I rolled shitty because he's not here.
No worries. So, you take a turn. You wander down another passageway, take more turns, and you get this sense after a while that you somehow managed to get lost as you come across a set of metal rungs heading up, and inside a 4 square. You're pretty sure you've been here before.
Is this back where they came from? The safe house?
No, it's some ways north of the safe house, but this was, back before you ran into the ghouls and gas and whatnot.
She'll say, looks like I fucked up and got us lost. We're back right where we started from.
Just clicking a pen.
Sorry.
It's okay. I was just wondering what that noise was myself.
It's actually an IKEA little chip bag clip closer thing.
Ah.
Okay, in that case, it's
It just
also
it just sounded very close to the microphone.
Says the Swede.
Yes.
I own a group of them. They're in the other room.
Kurt, you might want to. I don't know the sewers very well. I thought I did, but you might need to double us back to get us back to where we were. I don't know where we are.
Right.
In case we could always head north, try to find that scout.
Scout, the Goblin Scout.
Yes.
Wasn't that Tubbs?
No, I believe he said one of his scouts. Though I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
wasn't
they
that
stayed or
Tubbs?
returned out to the field.
Yeah, there were Tubby Tubbs. Big round guy with no neck.
Maybe so. I recall him saying it was one of his scouts.
Oh, maybe.
Roll me an intelligence check, Crit.
I mean, it just sounded like he talked about it like he was there in first person, I can roll intelligence if you would like me to.
Right.
Carry on.
Yeah, all right. Nothing wrong there. Well, I
Either
mean,
way, you're the trackers. I will leave the course to you.
we could always just turn around and see if maybe just miss the path.
I obviously did. I missed
Right.
something.
Well, I'll walk first and we'll see.
How about
Alright.
this? You use whatever you did to look at him, and I will guide you along the walkway. Hopefully, we can get a hint as to his location.
All right. She
So
pulls out
I'll
the
be
crystal
behind
ball.
Amunet, just making sure she doesn't slip off the walkway.
Okay.
I guess she'll hold on to like Lancelot's fur in the front and Galadriel in the back guiding, and she'll
Basically, just letting
scry.
her concentrate while we're walking.
Okay.
All right, and Kurt will lead the way, using his survival as he did before, trying to,
Waiting for your
Look up.
waiting for your activation.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Oh, I meant for Amunet.
For what? My crystal ball?
Yep. I can't remember the DC of it, so I need to see.
Hold on. I don't. I just have it written down crystal ball because it wasn't in the compendium.
What spells did it cast?
It's a legendary crystal ball. Where's my DM?
Was it Scry?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got a higher DC 17.
Okay. Versus, was it Wisdom or Charisma?
It just says DC 17 on the compendium. I'm in my DM's guide right now.
I think it's Wisdom, so I'm gonna roll for that.
I can check Scrying otherwise.
Yeah, it could just be based off the scrying spells.
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Holy
Someone
crap!
hungry.
He did horribly on that. I rolled a fucking 2.
Good.
Yeah, get fucked.
Give me
Yay.
1 second. I was like looking at that and going, okay, he's got that on that. It's gonna be, and he keeps doing badly on these rolls. Because you keep being able to scry on him. No.
Yep.
You ran in here, little guy. I get my chair back. Like, sorry, I got up to let the cat in. He needed to be let in because he was meowing. Man, he's a cute boy. Anyway. Okay. So, you once again see that basement with the sacks of flour and places tucked out of the way. But this time, you see him basically standing up and stretching as if he's just woken up from his sleep. And he is looking around. Several other shapes move towards him. And he grins widely. I forget, does your scry allow you to hear anything?
Yeah, I should be able to. The regular scry spell should allow
Alright.
me to as
Good.
well. I can talk to him as well, but I don't think she's going to.
Alright. So she like smiles at the things moving in the dark and says, "Ah, good, my children, you are awake. The sun has gone down over the horizon. We can continue our journey. It's time to gather some more forces before we head to the temple. They have such defenses there. Just a few more allies. Come to the night, and you may feed at will. Gather us a few more friends." What would you like to do?
I'm writing. 1 second. You said feed at will, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna want to distract them from leaving. Let me read this. While scrying with a crystal ball, you can communicate telepathically with creatures you can see within 30 feet of the spell center. Okay, how many, within 30 feet, how many creatures can she see?
Alright. Within 30 feet. Let's see. Other than the vampire himself,
Mm-hmm.
holy crap. Uh, although you can't entirely tell what they are exactly, you can tell there's at least 12 moving shapes moving away from him, heading out of this basement or lower warehouse or whatever it is storage area that you have been scrying on. So
Oh,
that
God.
means 13 total.
So, technically, question to the DM, would she be able to say something to the group while she is scrying? Or is she in a meditative state where she can't
I am
really...
thinking of it as a meditative state,
Okay.
where basically you're being slowly pulled along by Caladriel and Sir Lancelot.
Oh. Odds or evens, Grizz?
Odds.
Oof. Damn it. She is going to shake off the scry and communicate with the group then. She'll
Okay.
drop communication.
Could have been today.
We
Yeah,
don't know.
absolutely.
Oh,
You see Aminet's eyes just kind of go into that familiar scrying thing, and after a few minutes, she comes back.
He's awake.
caught it.
Out of character, I told you.
Out of
He
character,
told
I
you
caught
too.
it.
I know.
He's not alone. There he said something about his children. They're gathering, they're moving towards the temple. They are on the move now. He's given them free will to feed on whoever they want to get more allies. I saw at least 12 other shapes. I couldn't make them out. With him, that's 13. But I was going to try to... I almost did something very dumb, but I thought better of myself. But they're on the move now, and it looks like they're going topside.
Mm.
Do I look up? Do I see any like super entrances or grates or anything?
You remember that there was one a few minutes behind you.
Alright. Well, let's move up then.
Yeah.
Did you hear where they were going? Like temple, but
All I heard was I heard it's time for them to gather more forces, time to head to the temple. It has such defenses. Let's gather more allies, and feel free to feed at will.
but isn't the temple like quite a ways out from the town? I mean, we need a carriage to get there.
Yeah, so that means that they're headed that way, but
So if they're heading topside here, do you think they're gonna head out the main gate or something? Or
I think
I mean-
they're shambling undead.
they did climb on the walls like bugs, so I guess they could just get out any way they want, really. But
Possibly. Maybe if we get topside and we get up high enough, we might be able to see where in the city that they're moving. I don't know.
I don't know, lots of buildings.
I can climb up buildings easily.
Maybe if we get to the wall. I assume it has a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would have seen, a wall around the city. Even though you came in from the south, from the water, you would have seen the wall up in the city. Because it's an old city. It's from the old Milam Empire days.
Okay, I have an idea. Kurt, lead us to the next sewer grate. Caladriel, guide me. I'm gonna hold on to Lancelot. I'm going to communicate with Holly and let her know what's going on.
And how do you communicate with Holly?
She's gonna scry on Holly and talk through it.
You've got how many scries per day?
As many as I want. It's a legendary
Oh,
item.
that's right. Oh my god. Oh yeah, yeah. I had you
I
roll
can
for
only
which
use
crystal ball. Yeah,
yeah.
I had you roll for which crystal ball it was, and it's like okay, the legendary. Considering the area you found it in, that wasn't out of the realm of possibilities, especially even in conjunction with the with the ring that was also found there. It's like
The only
yeah.
limitation I have is suggestion once per day, which she has already done today.
All right. So when all right, so I'm gonna take you back to whispers. All right, you scry upon Holly as they're kind of leading you back towards the entrance. Sorry, towards the pathway up. I'm assuming. You scry upon Holly, and you see that she's actually standing in the area where you left Pink, and he and she and he and Grizdrop and Kage and the various animals, and she's got a carriage now with horses, are all kind of like standing around chatting, still kind of glancing towards the warehouse a bit, but they're still kind of like standing out there.
She's going to communicate. Holly, the vampire is awake.
Her head snaps up. Uh, does the scrying allow for communication back, or just to?
Well, she can hear, and
Okay.
Amanet can talk.
So Holly holds up her hand to the others, and they instantly, they were just gabbing about random things. And they instantly fall silent as she speaks aloud and says, "Amunet, I hear you. What's? He's awake."
The vampire is awake. We're down in the sewers right now.
Yes, we ascertained as much, but not knowing where you were in the sewers, we decided to stay here.
Yeah, I don't know where we are either right now. But he's on the move and he's heading towards the temple. He has.
Yeah. We knew we'd be heading there eventually. Yes, it has gotten kind of dark out here, if you can see that. The moons are starting to rise.
We're still underground. I can't see anything.
Yeah. Well, where should we meet you?
I guess at the gate. That's the only place I know.
The gate to the north? All right.
I guess head towards the gate. Be careful, they might be headed that way. We'll try to meet you there.
All right. You be careful. We will meet again there. Divine go with you.
Okay. Okay, Holly knows we're on the way. We just need to meet her at the north gate.
All right. Well, I saw an exit not too far back.
Okay. Lead the way.
Did that place had a ladder or something?
It had a ladder going up because it was technically a 5-way. It's a 4-way because you were already come up from one direction, and then you explored from 2 more. So now you only have one other way out besides the up. Yeah, the crow, Calijo's crow, just goes flying off and goes somewhere. It's hard to tell which direction in the dark. But looking up at the ladder, it seems to have a covering, some kind of hatch up above it.
No, I'll climb out, climb up and try to open it.
Roll me an athletics check.
Ooh,
Oh yeah,
nice.
yeah. Even though you're a small dwarf, you are very mighty and push the hatch out of the way. And you find yourself in the middle of a street. It is dark. There are a few people giving you funny looks, like somebody's taken aback. They take a step back, looking at this dwarf who has just emerged from a sewer.
I pay them no attention and kind of reach down and help someone up who's next in line. Come on, we gotta hurry up before they.
Sir,
Before they
Sir
get out of
Lancelot
town.
pushes his way past the rest of the group and goes up.
I'll go up next then, I
I
guess.
see the sky.
Yeah. There's no sun. You have it in your blade. Let's go. Let's
Obviously.
go.
I found the sun again, and he looks at this blade.
He stole the sun?
Don't say such things aloud.
I found the moons, and he points at the sky. They were gone for a while.
Minor illusion. Applause.
Oh my. They're literally on the move. We have to go.
We better be careful. He might steal the moons too.
Amunet
I would not
is-
steal moons. He gives Caladril a withering look, or as much withering as you've ever known him to be.
He's a noble knight. He would never do such a thing.
Right. He might commandeer the moons. If
Don't give him ideas.
what? It's within his lordly rights.
Anyway, you're in the middle of a dark street. There are people wandering this way and that. Some at little cafes nearby, and they're all staring at you because you've come out of a sewer. And then there's each as you emerge, it's like they're just kind of staring and staring. It's kind of like, except this is at night. That scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Like hustling and bustling?
No, when they come up from the sewers, in the middle of the thing, and there's a cafe, and everybody's just staring at them.
Gotcha.
And those of you who haven't seen it, shame on you.
I can't. You have to remember every Indiana Jones movie.
Mm.
After I saw the skull one, I wanted to.
That one was horrible. Nobody should see that one.
Yeah, I cleansed my mind of all Indiana Jones things because of it.
Because of what?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Mm.
Bad movie. Okay, if you guys want to make your way to the North Gate, I can try to, as we get into more building clusters, I could try to climb up and see if I can see where they're moving, if anywhere.
Possibly.
So if you guys want to
So-
make your way there, I'll meet
So
you.
looking around, you see that you're mostly looking at low buildings. Most of these seem to be like 1 and 2 stories in this section. As you were basically informed by the goblins, and when they sent you off in this direction, that this is what they were referring to as the restaurant district. Now, while not everything around you is a restaurant or some place to buy food, like a market, most of the buildings are low and not tall enough to necessarily see as well as you would like, especially at night. Roll a perception check. You don't see any tall buildings around here, Amunet. Kurt, roll your perception check at disadvantage, please.
Okay, I roll again then.
Yes.
There you go.
Kurt, you went to look up at the buildings, but your nose begins to twitch as the heavenly smells of pastries and other things
Oh,
you've
God.
not tasted reach it, and your eyes are drawn to the cafes and the little bakery that's nearby.
Kurt.
Fourth time.
You may roll a wisdom saving throw to re-roll that perception check to avoid the delicious distractions of pastries and other things if you want. Nope, you're still you're heavily distracted by the odors.
What's
North. We gotta go north. I kind of.
What are you looking around for?
The North Gate.
Oh, I'll try and check.
Well, building is what we were looking for. Amunet's trying to
Find a tall building. All right.
So, Char, you look up at the sky, and while Aminette seems to be distracted by who knows what and isn't seeing it, and Kurt is clearly distracted by food, and Clay is probably distracted by people's clothing, whether he's either admiring them or wanting to reclothe them. It's hard to tell. Uh, you center yourself. You look at the rising moons, and just start casting your gaze slowly across the sky until finally you see the spire of a very tall building that's most likely a church or a local temple of some kind in the
Well,
distance.
if you Chelsea goes, well, if you're looking for a tall building, there's one. I just point to it.
Cool. Thanks, Char. And Aminette will say, I'll meet y'all at the north gate. I'm going to go see if I can see anything. If anybody's good and can climb a building and they're very, very good with their eyes, come with.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll come with. Why not? I can turn into a spider to climb up there.
Caladriel,
Alright.
roll a 1d20 for me. Meanwhile, yeah, you get no response from anything. Uh, Meanwhile, Char has turned himself into a spider and is now clinging to Aminette.
And Aminette will make way to the temple spire, whatever it is, and she'll tell the people before she leaves. Make way to the north gate. We'll
Sir
meet you there.
Lancelot is lumbering after her.
Lancelot,
Yes?
go with Kurt. Go with Clay.
But
Go with Cal.
But Sir Lancelot protects Aminette.
You need to protect them. Can you climb up a building?
He looks at his giant hands. No.
Then protect them. Gives them a double pat.
Oh,
You're,
all right.
You're a good friend, but go protect them. We'll be fine. And she goes running off. And she will cast Spider Climb on herself and climb up the building.
Alright, Sir Lancelot lumbers back to the rest of the group. Char and Aminette climb up a building. Char in spider form. So it's a whole bunch of spiders between the two of you. Spider, 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 spider. Sorry.
And she's going to try to. Oh, does she have anything that would help her with her new shit? Hold on, I don't think so. No. No. Okay. Yeah, she'll just try to watch from a high vantage point to see if she can see any sort of traces of undead or the vampire or anybody.
Yeah, try will do the same.
So, roll me perception checks with advantage because you're at a high vantage point.
Well, that's a 14. Probably one of the lowest rolls I could do.
Nice.
That's
So-
amazing.
Aminette kind of scans around Assassin's Creed style, and starts taking in the area. And first, she sees that the actual gate, the gate out of the city, is to the northwest. And as she's panning around, like looking to the north, and seeing houses and whatnot, and begins looking towards the northeast, that's when small sounds of terror start reaching her ears from that direction. The northeast.
Aminette's going to take out her crystal ball and she's going to scry on Kurt. And she's going to try to talk to him and let him know where she hears the screams from. Kurt.
Yeah. Who? Where?
Her voice
Kurt.
is in your head.
Kurt.
I slap my head. Yep. Yep.
The vampires
Now,
are
how does this
attacking
work?
northeast. It's a ball. I talk to it, and I can I can
You
look
hear me?
at you. I can hear you. Yeah,
Hello?
yeah, you can hear me. I know you can hear me.
Is this thing on?
I
Holly
hear
can
you.
hear me. Yeah.
All right.
So to the northeast, we see them. We hear them. Their screams. Um, did you say northeast of the gate or just in the northeast?
Northwest is the gate. North
Yeah.
appears to be residences, and to the northeast is where the trouble you're sensing is.
Okay. Um, we'll meet you at the gate with Holly, but then we need to make way to the northeast.
You sure? Shouldn't I make my way over there now?
Yeah, I guess I could send Holly over there too, if you guys want to.
I mean,
I just think we're spread a little thin.
northeast. Like, we need to get there quickly before they leave.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll head that way. I'll send Holly there.
Our group will stop making their way northeast then.
And she will do the same for Holly and relay the same message without the "does this work?"
All right, so Holly is currently, making her way with, her the thing that she, the carriage and the dinosaur and Pink and the Warforged and Kage and Grisdrop. They're all just heading, towards the north. When you interrupt this, what do you want to say to her?
Vampires are attacking northeastern part of the city.
All right.
We found where they're going.
We'll be there, but we'll send our transportation to the gate if that's okay.
Yeah. Char and I are on the church spire right now, and we're gonna head right there.
All right.
And Aminette will walk down the building and start heading that way.
Okay. You quickly rejoin Kurt and Sir Lancelot and Clay and all the others. Are you guys hurrying, or are you taking a casual pace to hopefully let to possibly let Holly eventually find you? What's the plan?
I think Kurt is not full sprint, but he's a dwarf, so he's moving quicker than you would think a dwarf would move.
So it's like a jog.
To be fair, he's a ranger, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aminette's going fast.
Yeah, I'm just staying on Amunet.
Has my crow returned?
No, your crow is still off, searching for what you said.
Okay.
So you guys are moving fast. That's good. You're heading to the northeast. Who is in the lead?
Can Kurt be?
All right, roll your direction finder. You don't know this city.
If you hear a car engine soon, it's going to be because of blockheads outside are having fun at night.
Wow.
Is there anything I can do to assist him?
I was gonna say, could
Yeah, 'cause
Aminette
I-
assist, given that she was up top?
What method are you using to find your way, Kurt?
I mean, I would say the night sky, but I'm more prone to being in the underdark, so I'm using the second best thing, and that is my gut feeling.
I was about to say,
So
I would
if
have
that's the
experience
case, then
navigating.
nobody else can help you. You have to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
My gut feeling is wisdom saving throw. Here we go.
But it's at normal roll because nobody can help you with a gut feeling.
Your gut feeling's gonna lead us to food, not where we need to go.
I would say you could argue that moving away from the food would be like in the positive direction, right?
Mm-hmm. So, the streets are very windy. They're not, in this, especially in this area, they seem to be like, completely at random. And, Kurt just seems to lead you around until you come upon a break in one of the streets and can see that you are while there are still more streets and more buildings in the way, the type of ridge that you're currently on looks down upon the docks and the water. So clearly, you've been going south at some point.
Son of a bitch. How many of us are
That
there in
being
this little group
said,
right here?
roll perception checks.
There we go. That's the
Nice.
perception check I was looking for.
You
Alright.
you start to hear bells chiming, and they are off in the direction that you're pretty sure is northeast. So they give you a way to go at this point. So now
How
that
distant?
Kurt has gotten you lost, who would like to take over?
I'd like to lead. Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. So what would you like to do to lead?
Honestly, I feel like it'd also be my gut feeling just because I've been wandering for the past decade.
My
So-
God,
I feel like I'd have-
what
I'd
gut
have
feeling was
experience
bad
navigating
enough.
someone-
That's another wisdom saving throw, but because of the bells ringing, you get you get an advantage. All right.
Oh, thank God.
So you start heading the party back in the correct direction, partly backtracking what Kurt led you, and eventually you start to come past people who are running to the south past you, and others that are just gathering in doorways, going, "What's going on? Is it the goblins again? Are they attacking?"
Flee to the church.
Fleet. Okay, a church. Got it.
Either flee to the church or lock your door and don't let anyone in.
You start nodding and head off and
Spread the word to others you see,
Yep.
but don't open your doors.
you hear somebody screaming up ahead.
Almanac books it.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'll maintain probably 10 feet behind her if I can.
All right.
I'm still riding along.
And like trying to keep to the shadows if you can.
Roll
Yeah,
a stealth
and I'm
check.
still riding along on Amunet.
Oh, Char's still a spider. Got it.
Yeah. Still the spider stuck on Amunet.
I will attempt to follow
Practically
her
your
lead.
own Tiny Tim. Oh, you should see what Tiny Tim looks like now. Tiny Tim has got an upgrade.
Yeah,
Oh.
they don't know about all
God.
the fluffy shenanigans.
Yeah, they're gonna find out about that tomorrow.
I haven't told them.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I don't think Kurt is stealthy.
Let's see. Clay is probably Clay is
Nah.
not quite.
Kill it! Kill it for fire!
Sorry.
I guess I should probably roll stealth too. Just yeah. Even though I'm a spider, I'm just gonna roll stealth to be hidden on Amunet.
There we go. Yeah, you're kind of like in her hair or maybe down her cloak, something like that. Anyway, an enemy wouldn't notice you to target you, probably. Anyway, so you guys are running along. You're running up the street. You're passing by people who are starting to scream and just are running away. And you see two pale figures climbing down the dark side of a building, making hissing noises. Let's see where we got here. And we got this. And this. Initiative, please.
Can I ask the DM for just like a point of order for
Alright.
Amanat? Throughout
Yes.
this, can she be always on the lookout to see if she can see the main vampire? That's just in the
Sure.
background of her mind. Okay.
Hold on a second. I might need you to re-up that once. Oh, never mind. I don't actually have that map. Oh, cool. I never imported that. I thought I had the random battle map town at one point, and apparently I don't.
You could just freehand.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It
I
wouldn't
was
look
going.
great, but it would
I
be
was gonna go. It's gonna take me 5 seconds if I just put everybody on the battle town map, and it's like, oops, I don't actually have that imported for this. So
Wah, wah.
yeah, I am not a mapping person that much. Let's see here.
It doesn't have to be pretty; it just has to be effective, right?
Yeah, exactly. All I want is a couple of buildings to have these things climbing down against to basically delineate areas where there are, alleyways and side streets and whatnot.
Can you import over from other games?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to leave this and come back.
Huh.
1 sec.
Because there's one in on the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because it's just a custom add-on. The problem is I thought it was already in here, so I forgot it wasn't. I think it's because it's in all of my other games that I forgot it wasn't in this one. But
Oh shit.
yeah,
Hold on. I will send that to Gemini. Hold on 1 second.
Mhm.
That's the new one.
oh cool. It did not undo my thing. Excellent. So yeah, these guys climb down from those buildings. You guys will be about here. Cool. Now you probably wouldn't see like trees and whatnot in the actual place itself. It's like more buildings, more tight together. But this is a decent enough representation.
Mm.
And I need one for our good buddy there, who I fortunately have to roll for right now.
Do we need to re-roll our initiatives?
Not at all. Can you guys still see him?
No.
Yeah. Not in the turn order, but I was wondering if we needed to re-roll just to get it back on the table. So you could reset it.
I see them all there.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Or maybe a refresh will sort that out.
Yeah, refresh.
Yeah.
Refreshing the
Refresh.
page. Reload.
Sorry.
Nope. Just
Nope.
just us.
The fuck? Okay, roll 20. You win.
What?
But
It opened another game.
Yeah, your face looks different.
so
Quentin Clay has a new.
What the fuck?
So we just re-roll and just put the
no,
other one?
that your numbers are already in there. I see them. So please don't re-roll. I already had you in here.
Okay.
Quentin, just
Could you possibly set the turn order and just cycle through, see if our characters pop up?
That's what I was going to do.
Okay.
Because I can see it, which means that the fact that I can see see your guys means that oops, Clay's now in here twice. All right. Means that I can I'll just tell you what turn it is, and right now it is Amunet's turn.
Okay. Please excuse me while I try to figure out how to play this new fucking class.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. I blame Matthew Mercer.
Well, you thought he was
You
doing
don't
something
have to.
good and did put out a new thing that
No.
was a special thing.
I just don't know. The blood maledicts have changed, but I'm not going to use them right now. Fuck it. So she's going to vampire spawn on the right. She's gonna pop it 3 times, and she's got lightning on both for now.
Okay.
So first one, normal roll. Second one, normal roll. Third one, normal roll.
All right. So let's see. 2 hits. That's That's 19 damage. Wow. Nice.
Good opening roll.
And she still has. Hold on. Spider climb lasts for how long?
I believe an hour.
1 hour? Has an hour passed?
Let me
No,
check.
an hour
that.
is not fast. It's been like 10 minutes, maybe 20. The
Concentration up to 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like fly. Fly is only 10 minutes.
How tall is this building right here?
It's like maybe 2 stories at the most.
So 10 feet?
That would be 1 story then.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it. She'll climb up and just be halfway up the wall then.
All right.
Stand on it.
You only have 20 feet of movement?
I have 30 feet of movement.
Which means you could probably get to the top of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
'cause
she's
you
on
get
the...
climbing speed equal to your walk.
Well, I was right here though, so I was thinking I had to move here,
5,
and then I would be
10, 15.
okay.
Your
And
climbing
she's
speed
right-
is equal to your walking. Each
I
one
just
of
wanted to
these.
make sure you were getting all of your movement.
Oh no, I'm confused because like I 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, you're saying that I can go right here?
And you can go all the way up here if you want. It's another 5 feet up. You just have to climb.
Do these buildings have a severe overhang, or is it pretty much the roof and terminates right at the wall?
Pretty much the roof terminates at the wall. Like the overhang is minimal.
I just wanted to make sure. So the vampire next to her, closest to her, doesn't have cover from an
Correct.
or an awning.
She would actually be able to aim and shoot it. The other place you saw awnings for the most part was over in the restaurant district, and you're a little bit away from that now.
Yeah, she'll stay right there.
Alright, next person up is Caladriel.
Alrighty. Now I will go ahead and cast Hex upon the spawn. I think it's the spawn closest to Aminette.
Alright,
That
the one
one?
she already injured. Got it. Hex, and what is your thing for that?
I'm going to go for dexterity once more.
Alright.
And then because I love to be consistent, Eldritch Blast
Same one?
and
Alright.
Eldritch Blast, all on the same target.
Yes, and that's with
And
Radiant,
I will,
which is good.
Yep.
That stops it from regaining hit points.
and I will push it back only once, 10 feet.
So that's 18 points of damage,
Ooh,
and
those are nice rolls
it
on that.
has a anti-regeneration marker.
28 damage.
Can you do... I can never remember. So you can do Hex both turns, or both hits instead of just
Well,
one?
on every
Like Hunter's Mark, it's every time something hits.
Oh, nice. So it's not like sneak attack.
Yes. Every time I deal damage, it hits.
Yeah, but sneak
Like
attack are like
Yeah, sneak attack is
3
mega
die.
damage, but you can only do it once on the first strike.
Until you deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with an attack. And I
Excellent.
just hit it with 2. If
Clay!
only I had a bonus attack, that was freaking amazing.
Clay, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run over here and I'm gonna throw a card behind the corner.
Okay. What card are you throwing?
Let's see. I'm throwing first row, second card, so the 2 of hearts.
What
I
does
haven't
that
seen
correspond
this
to?
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, when you don't put out the card like that, if you're gonna make a roll, what you do is you just pull the card from the deck.
Yeah, but I can see all the cards that I.
No. Well, there should be hold on. I can't see all of them. Darn it.
As you can see in the chat, I made a random roller.
Yeah.
pick whatever
Just
card I
take the
would-
card off the thing and tell me what the card represents.
I'm looking it up right now. Just give me a second. Two of hearts is a goblin.
Okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
And what's the one?
It's the first column, the second card. That's what it means.
Can you please pick up the card? It's kind of in the way from what I need to. Thank you. And what's the second? The second card?
It is just one card.
Oh,
I
okay.
rolled that to decide which card I pick
Oh,
because I can't
okay.
just pull out a random one. That's how I decide which card I pull out.
All right. And what now?
I can control the goblin, and I tell it to attack. So it runs and makes noise and does rah. That's what it does.
All right. When it comes to the deck of illusions, does it produce things like smell, or is it just
Smell, sounds.
okay? So it seems absolutely real to anything, even if it's blind. Okay, got it. That makes
I mean, it might not make tremors, but it should make like sound and sentence.
Char. You are up.
All right. I will jump off of Emunet.
Which actually means you are up here because you were moved along with her.
Yeah. So I'll jump off of Emunet this way. Turn back into me
Okay.
and cast Shillelagh on my.
You're currently on the side of a building. You can't stay there. You don't have spider climb anymore. You're a spider, so that means you'd be falling down to that square there if you jump that way.
If I'll go down, then I'll jump this way.
Okay.
And put Shillelagh on my weapon, and I guess I'll just wait.
Alright. So Lancelot is a bit confused about the sudden appearance of a goblin, looking at Clay and saying, "You have pocket goblin."
It's dark. No one sees this.
How did you do that?
Magic.
No light pocket goblin. Question. If something walked through your illusion, would it dispel?
It wouldn't dispel. They would know it's an illusion, though. Granted, he doesn't know it's an illusion, so he wouldn't rush through it, logically speaking.
Well, he walks over it, and yeah. So he just kind of goes out for... Wait, where did the goblin... He moved the goblin.
I didn't move anything.
Anyway.
I'm in this.
And he has his long reach, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's why I was having him there. That's why I was checking on that.
Oh, I was just wondering. Never played with the bugbear.
Yeah, neither have I. He's like the first real bugbear around here. So he just goes attacking with the sunblade.
Ooh, that's some nice damage.
Yeah.
Nothing
You
like
hear
a
more
sunblade.
screams from the vampire spawn. Then he attacks it again.
Ooh, it got better.
And decapitates it. Not so tough.
Good job.
The other vampire spawn hisses mightily and launches an attack at Sir Lancelot.
It's
Claw. Whoops.
oh god.
No, sorry. Only that first one was supposed to be a claw attack, and it was going to.
It was a good roll. That's all.
Yeah, because it is not doing. It is grappling him. The escape does not come into effect until his turn. And it goes in for the bite. Ow! Stop that.
No hugs for me, thank
Doesn't
you.
stop.
It's currently latched onto his neck, drawing blood. Kurt, what would you like to do?
Well, can I reach it? Yes, I can. I run up with Warhammer and shield drawn. Is it hurt?
Let's see. Is it hurt yet? No, it is not.
It is not hurt yet. I hit it with my Warhammer.
Alright.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna use bonus action Hunter's Mark first.
It gulps down your bugbear friend's blood.
Yeah. Higher levels may cause a spell using a third. No, I'm using a second.
Nice, Caligil. Nice.
Yep, cause upcast.
So it's just normal hunter's mark.
All right.
Let's see here. I'm gonna try to hit it once.
That misses.
Fuck.
Continues to feed off of Sir Lancelot.
And then I'm gonna try to hit it again.
Come on, it's time to flip a bitch. Pancake sword.
This time you hit. That's a non-magical weapon, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
also hunter's mark.
Yes. And it's Hunter's Mark magical damage or additional damage?
Just
Hunter's mark is additional damage.
Okay.
Say.
But
if
would
not
that be
exit.
considered magical?
No. If it's
No.
that's why I
When
was
they spell?
that's why I was asking if it was considered
Well, I was
considered
asking because-
additional or that.
Technically, hunter's mark is just a divination spell. It just lets me know where they are and
Yeah.
I deal more damage to
No,
them.
because it's like
Okay.
sneak attack, for
It's like
example.
a prediction to
yeah.
land a better hit.
Yeah.
Or if they try to flee, I know.
It's
where
not
they're
like
going.
hex damage, which is definitely magical.
Oh,
Hunter's
okay.
Mark is
I was-
more like you tag it and then you get to hit it, kind of like sneak attack, but it does the same damage as whatever weapon your damage does. So it has the same effects. Amunet. Let's see. At this time, as you are, wearing down on the vampires, several shapes move through the darkness along the alleyways. And then I'm going to put these guys on initiative order. Give me a second.
Hmm.
They're just little zombies. You can take care of them.
Yeah. Clay and Calandra, you deal with them.
We'll be.
Amunet, you're up.
Any sign of the main dude while she's up there?
Roll a perception check. No. The only vampire you see around is that one down below that was feeding on Sir Lancelot. But its crimson red its mouth dripping with crimson blood from Sir Lancelot turns and hisses at Kurt.
Yeah, well, fuck that person in particular. And that vampire spawn, whatever, is getting a couple of crossbow bolts to the face.
Alright. Alright. Any more?
Yep, one more.
That's a miss.
She's gonna stay right where she is.
Alright, Caladriel.
All right. I'm gonna shout to Clay that we need to move, and I'm going to move. First right here, and then
Okay.
basically reaching both of my hands over Kurt, just unload both Eldritch apply Hex, Dexterity, and then unload both Eldritch Blasts onto this.
Okay.
Pushing 10 feet on both of them if they.
Okay, only the first one hits. It's radiant damage, so it gets the radiant marker.
Yep. Does Lancelot lash out?
Plus 2.
Yeah.
And
Are we still gonna use the rules?
Yeah, and you push it back. Does it? I forget. Does it get its saving throw if it gets the push?
It does not. It just straight up pushes.
How far?
10 feet on each hit.
What effect gives you no saving throw against that? I'm forgetting. I'm
It's
sorry.
just repelling blast.
They-
Just, if I hit, I can push
Okay.
them.
No, I was just trying to remember what
yeah.
it was.
Yep.
So yeah, Sir Lancelot and Kurt both get an attack of opportunity on that.
And then
Oops.
I'm gonna.
Well,
You know what?
Does the goblin look real to me?
Roll a intelligence check.
A what?
Roll an intelligence check.
Roll a goblin check.
Yeah, you do not remember Clay throwing it out. You were so busy staring at the vampires, you didn't see him toss a card over there and make the.
saw it, but I just wasn't sure if it was real or not.
Because I'm going with you. If you'd seen him throw that, you might not think it's real. The fact that you're asking that question makes me say that you were too distracted to notice it when it was thrown out. So
Okay.
you probably think it's real.
All right.
Grace, question.
Yes.
First of all, did my Warhammer hit?
Yes.
Does that mean Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer come into play?
Yes.
So I'll roll that and another d8. So that's another 8 you can divide because it's just more damage of the same variant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay right here. I don't like being here, but I'll stay here.
Alright. Zombie comes over here and attacks Clay.
That misses.
Clay, your turn.
I'm gonna shock and grasp the zombie.
Okay.
Good rolls.
Ah! As lightning just goes charging through its body, causing its limbs to spasm.
And I run away.
If I recall right, that means it can't take reactions.
Brave the Robin ran away.
Except he ran
Runs
right
to
into
the-
a fire.
Don't worry, he's in a great spot. I needed
Not
that.
really that worried for the vampire. I'm more worried about the zombie.
That gives Lancelot a chance for advantage.
See?
And a
It's all
mark.
planned out.
Sure.
Now it gives Cha an advantage. He's gonna go here and then pretty much just
Ninja
take a
slide.
tumble down.
Yep, jump down, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Ow.
20 feet.
I'm not good at these.
No, it's like 10 feet down. Unfortunately, you missed the landing properly.
If it's just some damage, I'm fine with that.
You take 1 point of damage and you fall prone.
Oh, come on.
It's fine. How much movement did you use?
I moved 5, 20. I have 10 left.
Which means you don't have quite enough to get back up.
Kidding me?
You can hit at it from a prone position with disadvantage, but since Clay is across from it, that's just a wash.
Screw it.
And it
Okay.
doesn't regen.
He misses, attempting flailing out with his club. And now
Oh, well,
it's Sir
that's my
Lancelot's turn. Lancelot is not aware that there are zombies swarming in. And approaches the vampire. Go to sleep. Oops. Sunblade. Sunblade!
Ooh.
Let's see if it's even still alive. Yeah, it's not even. He decapitates a second vampire, and he looks down at the blazing sword and goes, "I like this blade." Whoops. Yeah. Zombie lumbers forward. And
Thanks, Clay.
attacks Caladrel. That misses. Kurt, you're up.
Oh.
There's a lot of typing in the background, guys.
I'll do.
Oh, sorry,
I'll.
didn't get my mic.
Yeah, I'll use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark over to this zombie down here. 5, 10, 15, and then I gotta stand there.
Okay.
So bonus action Hunter's Mark on that,
Okay.
and then I'm going to strike it with Warhammer.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna strike it again with Warhammer.
All right.
And that is the damage total.
You see flesh go pummeling off of this thing with the strikes, and you hear splintering of bones underneath of what's left of it. Now you see ribs poking through and chunks of flesh that were hurled free because of the splintering ribs, just laying on the ground.
Just fall down already.
And this one goes for Caladriel. It's an 18 hit, Caladriel.
Unfortunately.
So it's like runs back and it slams directly into your chest. Ah.
This isn't ideal.
The other zombie raises its arms and goes to try to slam Kurt.
You know.
Ooh, it doesn't hit?
My AC is 19, apparently.
Whoa.
Isn't.
Amunet.
Yes, it is. Because shield and defense and stuff.
Can she see these guys down here?
Yeah. Like you're hearing the zombies groan, and you look down and you see them starting to swarm Caladriel.
Before she attacks, can she do a once over to look for the main guy?
Go for it. Roll a perception check.
There's a reason why I'm doing this. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yep. He's nowhere to be seen. In fact, you don't see any vampires around here.
Okay. She will go for the one directly in front of Caladriel. Boop, boop, boop.
Thank you.
So that is 13 and 6
Ooh.
and
13.
Hold on.
29.
I never remember to do this. Constitution saving throw. Nah, it just dies.
And she's staying where she is, and she's gonna keep looking out.
Its body
for the main
twitches slightly because of the lightning, but other than that, it's just laying there.
It rises up and you go, it lived! It lived!
That's what I was just about to say. Does lightning grant him advantage?
No. That only happens with flesh golems.
Oh yeah.
Good to know.
Galadriel.
All right. I will go ahead and move my heck over the one by Kurt.
Okay. Done?
Yep. And I will throw Eldritch Blast 1 into it and push it 10 feet.
And it's already dead.
You push his
All right.
body.
Yeah. And then I believe this would put me at disadvantage. I will attack the one in front of me, or the one right next.
You don't have to use Eldritch Blast against it. You can actually use a weapon.
I'm trying to push it.
Ah, okay.
I mean, basically, like, obviously, it's not going to affect anything. But what my character's basically doing is channeling the magic into his hand and then just shoving, almost like
Alright.
with a grenade in his hand, and just.
Got it?
Get the fuck out of my face.
That works. 13, and it gets pushed back 10 feet.
That rolled really well
Yeah.
for that. And then I'm just gonna. Hey Clay, you get him. Your turn. I slap him.
Let me.
Wow.
Get over here. Oh, you're already here.
Slam.
Oof. All right. That hits.
Right into your head. It dislodges something from your beard, and
Bonk.
that something goes skittering down into a bush.
No. That was fresh.
That was my dessert.
Clay.
It's really gonna
Don't
bug
they have
me,
more
sorry.
attacks?
What?
I thought zombies had more attacks. No,
No.
sorry, I was mistaken.
You're thinking of something else. Zombies are very basic.
Still, zombies. Basic zombie.
Hey, if the vampires weren't killed so quickly, the zombies would be causing more havoc with you guys.
Everyone okay?
As it stands, you guys are already taking a couple hits here and there from zombies, and you're in a situation where resting is not really an option.
Yeah, because I don't have any more of my healing light. Or my spell slot. But I think I'm making
Something I learned from observation. Not all fights have to, need to be huge knockdown dragouts. No, you can just worry your players down when they're in a situation where they have to keep going and can't rest by throwing smaller things at them. And then,
Also, something occurred to me. I might have still had my hex going into that fight in the sewer. I completely forgot about hex from last session.
yeah, that's why you had the
You motherfucker. You coward.
well between Fawn and Quinden's characters, except for Beast, you really don't know who's going to be running away first.
Hold on, here we go.
Speaking of,
I understand out of character.
Why run
He
away from
lost-
zombies?
Like, he didn't even use the sling first.
Bravely bolts of clay, roll forth
I
from
did.
Camelot.
I missed
He was
terribly.
not afraid to die, oh, praise
Oh,
the
you did?
clay.
Yeah,
He
I
was
rolled a
not at all
10.
afraid to
I
be
don't
killed
think-
in nasty ways. Brave, praise the clay.
Char,
I
you're
rolled
still
a
laying
10.
on the ground
That
after
doesn't
falling
hit a
off the
zombie.
roof.
Yeah, I
That
get up.
doesn't hit a zombie,
Actually,
right?
yes, that
Or
does.
Oh,
It
wait,
smacked
let
the
me-
zombie.
Yeah, that should be on there as well.
Except that it doesn't. You can't do sneak attack damage for that unless you have a feat. Unless there's like a special feat. It's
You
It's
get
a
sneak
ranged
attack
weapon,
when an
and someone is standing next to it. So
I thought it was
If an enemy of your target is standing next to it, you get advantage.
no, I don't get advantage.
Or not advantage, you get sneak
No.
attack.
I'm trying to
I
think.
missed
That wasn't sneak attack though, specifically for certain kinds of weapons, or am I thinking of 3.5 again?
Finesse and ranged.
Oh, okay.
A
Ranged
weapon
of
that
any
uses
kind.
Dexterity.
Ranged, any kind.
Okay. Double checking on that. And that.
It has to
That's
be
why you
dexterity
can
on the attack
get-
roll, though.
That's why
happened
you
to
can
this
get it on a longbow.
Well, yeah,
It died.
that's piercing and whatnot. I was thinking that it was like a piercing type of weapon.
Where did my kill
Okay,
go?
that's my turn.
What?
Where did my kill go? Where did the zombie go?
It got hit on the head with a rock, and its brains kind of splattered on the ground as a result.
Damn it.
Sir Lancelot looks around. He doesn't see the zombie over there, and goes and says, "What? Where are we going next?"
I point in the direction of the zombie.
Ominet's gonna look for the main guy again.
It's not even its turn. It's Kurt's.
Oh, sorry. I thought. Well, never mind.
Sorry. The counter's still being weird for us.
Yeah. That's why I was calling out whose turn is next.
And I appreciate that greatly.
Is it my turn?
Yep, it's Kurt's turn. Because Sir Lancelot is still confused, even though the zombie was pointed out to him, he doesn't see it. And
Alright, bonus action.
Sir
move
Lancelot
on
has
to good.
has basically been portrayed as someone out of sight, out of mind. That's why he was searching for the sun for a while.
Alright, it's got Hunter's mark on it. Is it
Yep.
hurt?
Yes.
It is, yes. Hooray. Like that.
And it's dead.
And that.
It's
Ah,
it's over.
and
So he's
another
just
one of
pummeling the
those.
body now.
Kurt, it's dead. Kurt, it's dead. Dead. Oh,
It's mush.
okay. You have made jello.
I mean, can you see where the main guy is?
Yep, she's gonna look around, see if she can see anybody.
Perception check.
I really want to be proficient in these someday.
No, though you do begin to hear, more screams in the distance and smell a bit of smoke coming from somewhere north in the road that you're currently on.
Screams in the distance, smoke to the north, heading that way.
Basically heading in the direction Clay is.
Yeah, so she'll just.
Yep. All right. North
Good
we go.
job. Good job, Clay. You're running towards the danger.
How long does your illusion last, by the way, Clay? Clay.
It lasts until the card moves, or it is dispelled.
Okay.
Or else it would be at least a minute, which hasn't passed yet.
No, you're not going to encounter anything between then and there. But, you guys. Actually, no, Aminet's heading over the roofs. Aminet's kind of rushing across rooftops and, being parkour awesome and everything like that. Clay has accidentally found himself at the head of the group. Kurt has hurt to catch up. Sir Lancelot is running along. Char and Caladriel, and people again are running past you. And one of them is yelling, "Vampires! Vampires!" It's some sort of invasion.
We know.
Yay!
It's like somebody else is going, "I don't understand. I thought the vampires were more civilized. Lauren is all civilized. They've got lots of vampires there. What's going on? They've been trading with us. It's like, maybe we should not let people in from Lauren again either. First the goblins and now vampires. And they're just like all yelling at each other as they're running past.
These people need a bit of
Help.
mentally.
And as we're going, I'm just going to be shouting, "Lock your doors!
Alright.
Lock your doors, or flee to the church."
How's your kids? How's your wife?
No, just
And as
any word from my crow?
How'd you
though?
manage?
Has she returned yet?
No. And as you continue on to the night, the bells ringing, people screaming, the smell of smoke becoming thick in the air to the direction you guys are going. This is where we're going to pick up in 2 weeks. Hopefully by then, your other companions will be able to rejoin you, and along with your crow.
I was about to say, I feel like it's been a really long time.
Well, good night, everybody.
Yeah.